This hour of the Vic Porcelli Show brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Good morning, Kenny Williams.
Good morning, Vic.
How are you, baby?
I'm great.
All right, big show today. Nick Schroer is going to start us off here in a second. I heard it on the X at 9:25. We just go through X and find some interesting things people say, and we read them back to you. Nothing big. Then we are going to Israel. Chris Arps is going to talk to us from Israel. I guess we figured out the time distance. It's not the middle of the night. I'm sick of trying to figure out what time it is.
I got so tired of it. I went to ChatGPT.
Yes,
he gave me a calendar, like a schedule type of thing, and it was really cool. So it's 8 hours. And right now, as of the time we'll be talking with Chris, it'll be 5:41 p.m. in Israel today. I mean, later this afternoon.
Dinner time.
Right.
Good. Larry Behrens. We love this guy so much. He's really a smart guy. And we'll talk about, the green new crap that they tried to do. Is that what it's called? Green new crap?
Yeah, it's a green new crap that they've put trillions of dollars in, and we're just President Trump's trying to pull it back.
Okay, well, we'll get into it with Larry.
Yeah.
How can the Democrats say anything when they spent how many billions of dollars on electric charging stations and built 8? What the hell?
$7 billion.
Were they all $1 billion each?
Well, something close. They're pretty expensive.
Drew Thomas Allen from the West Coast. They're pretty expensive. I priced those out at Lowe's the other day.
Then they're expensive.
Dr. Tobler. Now, we were supposed to talk to Dr. Tobler about something we talked about yesterday. Do you remember what that is?
Yeah, I have it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Chat box saying, who's doing the Pledge of Allegiance?
America's psychiatrist.
Dr.
Carol Lieberman.
Yeah, we love Dr. Lieberman. Go ahead, doctor.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He's known by many names.
We, the people are in charge. We are going to save our republic.
Nicky Two Shows. Schroer the Thrower. Twitter trolls love to hate him.
We love Vic Porcelli so much.
He's Nick Schroer, Missouri State Senator.
Good morning, State Senator. How are you?
Man, I just now realized that whole Nicky Two Shows thing is now more truer than ever, as I've got St. Charles Patriot Radio and Stand in Sight.
All right, why don't you cut the crap, okay?
I'm just saying, you guys are smarter than the average bear.
All right, fair enough.
Had 2 shows, you were calling it out.
Well, here's the deal also, Nick. If you remember at the outset of us having you on the show way back when, Vic couldn't say Schroer correctly, easily. So he had to have a rhyming word. So
That's
he said Schroer the Thrower.
Right.
And so stupid. It was Schroer the Thrower for a while.
So stupid. I got it now though.
And then a year or 2 later, I get caught with a flamethrower. So it's you guys are on it again.
That worked perfectly.
We're all over it. Don't you worry about it. Just don't be thinking about that 9 to noon slot. All right, forget about it. Okay.
Well, except when you fill in.
Never.
So let's talk.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour tour.
Right.
Let's talk about crime for a sec, Nick, okay? Because President Trump is getting the National Guard to keep the peace in. It's so stupid. We got to keep the peace in one of our own cities, right?
I think it's even more stupid the fact that the Democrats are against it.
Well, they fudge the numbers. I saw a post on Twitter by Robert Reisha. That's how Rush used to say his name.
Yeah.
And he said, well, crime is down 30%. Yeah, from 1 billion down to 1 less than 1 billion.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you're trying to tell me it's not dangerous in D.C.?
Well, a lot of these people are using the huge spike in COVID numbers. So nobody was working when the government was the ones that shut us down and said, you got to stay home, like in Tim Walz's state where they had the National Guard shooting paintballs at people that were breaking curfew. Since then, yes, the numbers in some areas have come down, but you hit the nail on the head. Are they fudging the numbers? Because that's exactly what was happening in the city of St. Louis, a Democrat-led city by Tashara Jones, and they were caught by the FBI with their hand in the cookie jar that they weren't reporting crime correctly. But even coming down from those highly inflated numbers during COVID, they're still high. It's like, if 15 people were killed before COVID in a certain city, 30 were killed during COVID, and now you're back to 18, it's still higher than what it previously was. And that's what we're seeing across these states, namely in D.C. When I was there with Tim Jones just a couple months ago, that was the same day that the young Jewish people were murdered by some psychopath. A couple weeks later, we were there again, and we saw all of these people getting robbed at gunpoint and carjackings. It's baffling to wonder why the Democrats are against going after these criminals and making our nation's capital safe again.
Nick, you just thunderstole my thoughts about what you're doing there, because you were there recently, Nick. And did anyone at any time say to you while you were staying there, "Hey, by the way, don't go out at a certain time or a certain area"? Because that's what I've heard from a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of the Uber drivers. You can utilize Metro down there. It to me was a bigger headache, and I already had the Uber app, so we just jumped in the Uber app. And myself, Justin Sparks, some others, when we went up there for the Missouri delegation, we were told by Uber drivers, "Hey, get in, get out at certain times at night. You don't want to go to these areas. If you stick around the Capitol, you should be okay because there's Capitol Police. But if you go a little bit further out," and that's exactly where those Jewish students were killed, was just not too far away from the Capitol, outside of where Capitol Police normally are patrolling. And it's a common sense maneuver by this Trump administration. Again, yeah, the Democrats aren't going to like it because they hate everything Trump does. If Trump would come out there and say, "Hey, we're going to get rid of student loans," something that Joe Biden promised and never gotten done, or even curing cancer. I remember when Joe Biden promised us during the campaign trail, I'm not making it up, go look it up, you can find a soundbite. He promised he was going to cure cancer. And if Donald Trump came out and did that, the left would start griping about that as well.
They would write up articles of impeachment. All right, so I got to tell you guys a story here, and it's based a little bit on what Ken was saying and what you were saying. 30-something years ago, my wife and I made a trip down to D.C. to see the Vietnam Wall. And a big reason why we went was because it was the first city I ever saw where the curbs were like driveways at the corners, so it was easier for a stroller to go to.
Yeah.
So we were staying at this nice hotel. We stayed at a nice hotel. And the concierge said, "Hey, listen, if you're going to do any sightseeing, anything you want to do, please do it during the day." And we were like, "What?" He said, Don't travel around at night." And then it was during the day. We're going to go to the wall, and we go to the car, and the valet goes, "Hey, where you headed?" Like real friendly. Where are you headed? "Oh, we're going to the wall." "All right, go there and come right back." Like they were really worried about us.
Yeah.
Just leaving and coming back alive to the hotel.
And Nick, I'm sorry, Nick, but they're saying right now, Mayor Bowser's talking about, "Oh no, everything's down, we're fine. No, don't worry about it." But they have roaming teenagers, like groups of teenagers, just at will. Whenever they decide they need a car to go somewhere, they just go up to a group or to a car as a group, open the doors, say, "Get out, we're going," and they do it routinely there.
A lot of us elected officials are saying, "Man, I wish Trump will send these people down to D.C. because all of the problems that they have with juveniles, getting away with crime, getting released back onto the streets to commit more crimes the next day, we're dealing with that in the city of St. Louis." And we're talking to cops, talking to a lot of the same people that helped us get our big crime bill passed this year. We all know that this is going to take a little bit of time. I've said that on the Senate floor, it's going to take time. What Trump is doing right now is expediting the change that needs to happen in Democrat-led cities across America. Stop treating criminals like you want to play patty cake with them. They are violent criminals that are killing people, stealing people's property, and they need to be put behind bars.
Yep. Yesterday, we just happened to get lucky. President Trump walked up to the podium in the briefing room and had this to say.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. Today, we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. You want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now.
And in addition, you heard Trump talking about how he's going to next possibly think about, he always says, well, we're thinking about this, to go into Chicago, to go into New York, to L.A., and maybe even St. Louis, Nick. Well, maybe after if he is successful in these other cities like this, if this works, he's going to come to St. Louis. You know he is anywhere it's going to happen.
Well, here's a little piece of evidence how I know it's going to work. Look at what the Democrats are doing right now. They're kicking and screaming. I was watching News Nation, just flipping through, and saw a clip from News Nation where they were on the street in D.C. and they're talking to business owners, and they're like, man, it's never like all these protests and parades that the left is doing. We haven't seen that in a long time. You've seen how these bought and paid for protesters are handing out flyers saying, hey, at 8 p.m., 9 o'clock, come out here, bang pots and pans. And the Democrats are advocating for this. They know it's going to work. They know it's going to result in cleaning up the crime and cleaning up the streets and cleaning up all the homeless that are sleeping all over our nation's monuments. And they don't want America to say, Gavin Newsom promised for decades that he was going to clean up homelessness in California and crime in California. And now you've got poop maps, literal maps so you can track defecation in the streets. This is showing you that the Democrats are no longer the party of law and order. It is now Big Don 4547.
There's a poop tracker?
There's a poop tracker in San Francisco.
I'll be damned. Okay, let's talk about something else. You put up a post the other day on, yesterday actually. Nope, 2 days ago on X. You said fentanyl is a Schedule 2 drug. Marijuana is a Schedule 1. This, in and of itself, with the amount of Americans that have been killed by fentanyl, shows you another reason why marijuana must be reclassified. I can't believe that marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug, making it worse than fentanyl. Whose idea was that?
Well, I think it boils down to who had the better lobbying team during Prohibition. And during Prohibition, we saw that the alcohol lobby in D.C. a long time ago was demonizing industrial hemp, was demonizing marijuana. And I think that's kind of when it got slid into a Schedule 1 drug. Fentanyl, carfentanil, many of these other, I think heroin even, all of these things are lesser schedules than marijuana. And even though to be a Schedule 1, you have to have no medical purposes whatsoever, you've got over half of the states in our great republic that have said, yeah, we're going to legalize it because it's giving some sort of benefit to patients, whether it's cancer patients, PTSD, veterans, anxiety, or whatever. There's a number of lists out there. And finally, we're starting to see a little bit more research since money is getting poured into the universities to do some unbiased research on this stuff. Donald Trump is right once again. And I'm not just like a lot of the Democrats are saying, no, you're just jumping on his coattails because he's saying this. Now you believe. No. I've held this belief as a criminologist when I went to college for criminology, criminal justice, studying crime, studying the impacts of certain drugs, and saying that, oh, wait a second. There is a reason why any police officer that you ask would much rather deal with somebody who's ingested a gummy or smoked a joint rather than drank a six-pack. So this thing absolutely has to be rescheduled. I know there are a lot of people saying, no, let's deschedule it instead. Look, whatever we can get done, because having this as a Schedule 1, fentanyl, carfentanil, heroin, all further down the list, it does not make sense.
You know, the marijuana thing, I voted for it. You know, every once in a while, I wish I hadn't. Like, we went to, my wife and I went to Denver. My daughter was getting married, and we ate at this restaurant. And guys, I got to tell you, everybody at that restaurant was stoned. Everybody. person who said, "Oh, here's a tip for you." Waiter, manager came out. I'm like, "Oh my God, this whole state is stoned." And my other question is, why are people smoking it when you can just eat it? Why would you?
Yeah, I personally.
Well, in our Constitution, there's still a prohibition on smoking it publicly.
Well, yeah, but Nick, I'm telling you, there is not a day that goes by from my journey from Afton to here in West County. I smell it every morning
from the car in front of you.
Oh,
right,
and it reeks, man. Yeah. I think to myself, where's this person going? If they're going to work, does that work even smell? Because if it's on you, you smell it.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is something where even though it's prohibited from doing it in public, if you have an employer, and when I was working with Rick Pogue and some of his businesses, we had to redo after medical marijuana and then recreational marijuana, all of the employee handbooks to say, look, we can't necessarily tell you what you can and can't do outside of this business if it's treated as medicine and you're using that like you're using a Xanax or some other pill, or if you're utilizing it in a recreational manner, like a glass of wine, as long as you're not doing it here, as long as you're not impaired while you are here. Now, I know there's some federal issues when it comes to CDLs and different federal employment, but I think the employers need to crack down on it if they're seeing big issues. I've heard from a couple people that, job creators, they come in and they said, this has been a big problem. I educate them on what the law is and what the law says and what they can and can't do. And they put their foot down and they said, look, ever since looking into this a little bit more and finding what my rights were as a business owner, I put an end to this stuff, and they can go enjoy their marijuana or their gummy or THC just like they do with their wine outside of work. But as soon as it starts infringing upon their ability to work not under the influence, then they're not going to have a job here.
Yeah, go ahead. No, we're out of time. I was going to say.
I was just looking at
there's so much more.
I was looking at the list of Schedule 1 drugs. So they've put marijuana in with heroin, LSD, mescaline, MDMA, that's ecstasy, and some others I can't say. But I don't think it's not as drastic as those, but it has no medical ramifications.
Okay, but you gotta, and here I am. I don't smoke pot. I have family and friends who do. I drink socially.
Yep.
Okay. Now here's the twist. I am for them legalizing marijuana. I think marijuana is better if you're going to do one of the two, is better than alcohol. I've got family members who died from alcohol
cigarettes too.
And cigarettes. Yeah. So my whole thing is, let that go. Let people be Americans and have the freedom of choice. But it's a Second Amendment issue with me. They tried to slide in this thing where it's like, if you smoke marijuana, you can't have a CCW.
Oh, wow.
And that's where the talk of descheduling comes into play, where a lot of people, especially our veterans or law enforcement that are suffering from PTSD, saying, look, I can legally go in and buy these products, but I don't want the government to have access to this, as it's still a Schedule 1 drug federally. And on the form 4473 that you go to fill out to purchase a gun, you have to check a box that says, I'm not using, I'm not smoking, I haven't, used it, even in a state that's been legal. And if you lie, unless your name's Hunter Biden, the law will come after you and throw you in prison.
Is there a checkbox for alcohol? No.
And I think that
there is not. And there's not a checkbox for other big pharma pills that impact your mental status.
I think when you're comparing marijuana to fentanyl, you have to say, well, which of these two has killed the most people?
Right.
Fentanyl, billion, marijuana, none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all right, Nick, we're out of time. I'm sorry. Stand and Fight, Sunday night, 6 to 8. It was great being on the show with you a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely. We'll get you back on. Tune in this week. Who knows what the hell we're going to talk about, but we will be talking about marijuana and crime.
You got it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'd love
Nick.
to be on there with you once in a while.
No. Just me.
Get you on, Kenny.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. Have a blessed week.
Hey, God bless you, buddy.
Oh, he switched it up on us. Have a blessed week instead of God bless you, boys.
Yeah.
Always waiting for that. All right, coming up next, I heard it on the X on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
But I feel badly also about the fistulas that are taking place in Eastern Congo.
The Vic Porcelli Show. News Talk STL.
The fistulets, Ken.
The fistulets, my goodness.
I feel like that's something that you get at Captain D's or something like that.
They sound a little tasty, actually.
I'll have the fistulets extra tartar sauce, please. Thank you. All right. So Connor Roofing are the, you know what? We've been partners now with them for how many? Like almost the whole 4 years.
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
yeah.
They were with us even back at the powerhouse. And when things go wrong with your roof, that's a scary, scary thing. If a storm comes by and then let's just say there's something wrong with your roof, right? Like maybe it's the roof is leaking. And then you got to say, oh my God, the insurance company, are they going to pay it? Blah, blah, blah. So here's what you do. When something happens with your roof, when you know it's something, or even if they go up there and they say, yeah, you got to do this, talk to them first. Talk to Connor first before you talk to the insurance company, and they'll help you navigate that whole thing.
Make sure you do it before you talk to the insurance company, too.
That's what I just said.
I know, but make sure you do it. I'm just reiterating.
Connor Roofing, CONNER roofing.com.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. Until I called STL Windows and Doors. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
Tim and Chris head to Israel all this week. Keep listening all day, every day for our first-hand reports.
News Talk STL is teamed up with Newsmax for Mission Israel, giving you first-hand reports on what is really going on.
No other St. Louis media will provide you this perspective and personal access.
I'm back in Israel all this week, and this time I'm with my buddy Tim Jones for News Talk STL and Newsmax Mission Israel.
You will not obtain this coverage anywhere else but all this week on News Talk STL.
Looking for treasures from the past? Discover Mimi's Antiques Attic, your locally owned and family-operated treasure hunt destination. Explore 16,000 square feet of antiques, crafts, collectibles, and designer items across 225 unique rental spaces. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, and Sundays, 10 to 6 at 1000 Warrenton Shops in Warrenton. Mimi's Antiques Attic, where every visit uncovers new treasures.
So many ways to listen to News Talk STL.
Join the conversation. All you have to do is say,
Hey Alexa, play News Talk STL.
Welcome to News Talk STL, conservative talk radio for St. Louis.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Jane Pushkar from the Francis House School Board, and you're lucky today because you are listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Love Jane Pushkar from the Francis Howell School District.
We have questions.
What?
We have questions about that Francis Howell School District, what they're doing with the superintendent paying them.
Always invited.
Yeah, and I texted her this morning.
Oh my God, how weird is that?
Yeah.
All right, we're running late, so let's get right into it, Kenny.
Yeah,
it's time for something we like to call. I forget what I heard it on the X.
Anywhere, y'all. Everywhere, y'all. I heard it on the X.
All right, just breezing through X last night. Caught a couple of things I want to read to you. One from a guy named Brother Wallace, who says Richard Gere leaves the United States for Spain with his family, says he's never coming back. Thoughts? I just hope he brought his pet gerbil with him. What? He's got a pet.
No, I know he loves them, and I even said, do they have Brazilian gerbils?
Because he's
just asking.
As a pet. He's got him in a pet. Not saying anything. We're not saying anything weird. We probably should have started with this. I'm sorry. The People's Speaker, our very own Tim Jones, who is in Israel right now, and the morning show played the audio of a video that Tim sent to Mike, and he sounded like me. He had a hard time keeping it together, you know?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is you can watch it on our Facebook page, but we're going to save it for Karen when she gets back.
Next week, yeah.
Tim says, 2025 mission to Israel kicked off yesterday in high style with a visit to the Western Wall, a performance by Israeli rapper Jimbo J. Do you know Jimbo J?
No.
And his powerful October 7th story, and meeting up with Congressman Bob Onder and Congressman, did I say Senator? Congressman Bob Onder and his wife Allison. So that was nice. And you got to go to our Facebook page, the News Talk STL Facebook page, and watch Tim. He's standing right where it all happened on October 7th. I don't know if I could even do that. If I could even stand there, I would be so overtaken by emotions. Can you know me?
Yeah, and I just every time something is brought up about quote unquote Palestine, free Palestine, quote, the Gazans, they need to be bringing up October 7th first.
That's right.
Every single time.
Absolutely right. Gateway Patriots. That's the actual handle, but their name is Gateway Grassroots Conservatives, who say we fully back and endorse Representative Eric Burleson for re-election. He has consistently voted conservative and has relentlessly pursued the truth. I completely agree with that, because when you go to D.C., you think you know what to expect when you get there, when you get elected, and then you're like, oh my God, all these people are so crooked, you know,
Right.
lobbyists and, you know, insider trading and all that. And he has just not gone down that path. I mean, he's just been a straight ahead conservative, and that's what we're asking. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, and this show researches these representatives on a regular basis, but it's nice to have groups that actually get into the weeds about what they're I mean, I'm talking about like every bill that they even propose.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really good to see that they hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah. The only thing about Representative Burleson is something happened with the cookies. His hands were the last hands I saw the cookies in.
It's going to elevate to the point of Cookiegate. It really is.
I think, you know what I think? I think it's worse than Watergate.
I think it is
A
too.
little cookie scam.
Yeah.
And we can't thank Diane Wood, though, and the Trolley Stop Bakery. They are the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show.
Correct.
Benny Johnson brings us to a whole nother issue. Benny Johnson said Jasmine Crockett built her entire political brand on being a ghetto girl from the hood. But is that true? No, it's a big lie. I traveled to Jasmine Crockett's actual hometown to investigate. She grew up way better than you or I did. Here's where Crockett is really from, and he's standing in front of, I think it's Rosati Kane, and there's also a picture of him in front of MICDS sign at the school. So my only thing is, Ken.
Yeah, Vic.
This show talks about stuff, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, and months in this particular case, somebody in the national spotlight says exactly what we were saying.
Yeah. And as much as I want them to acknowledge the fact that you've been talking about this from the very beginning, at the same time that he's actually giving it a national exposure.
Yeah,
he really is.
That's fine. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, that's good.
He could have called us.
He could have.
You
He
know?
could have come on the show. and
He
said,
could have come on the
Listen,
show.
I came up with something, and I found out
Yes.
that the Vic Porcelli Show was talking about this.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, now the whole nation knows that she grew up on the mean streets of the Ladue ghettos.
Mm-hmm.
Have you driven through the Ladue ghetto lately?
I won't.
Ugh,
I won't.
Trash everywhere.
I will not.
Crime worse than D.C.
Yeah.
God, it's terrible. And finally, from our governor, Governor Mike Kehoe, who says, this was yesterday, happy 204th birthday, Missouri. On this day, yesterday, in 1821, Missouri became the 24th state in the Union. It's an honor and privilege to serve the Show Me State.
Anywhere, y'all. Everywhere, y'all. I heard it on the X.
So, Ken, when these new states joined the Union, did the flag change every time? Did you have to buy a new flag?
I would say, yeah, at least temporarily.
1821 we're talking about.
Yeah, I would say that they say, oh, well, we got to make a new flag. I wonder, you know what? I'll look it up.
Okay.
Because there's a history of flags, I'm sure, and it's in there.
And, you know, from 48 to 50 was the most recent addition to the United States. And the 48 star flag, I keep meaning to bring that back to the studio. I just brought it home to show my wife. When Sandra met us at the wall,
right,
she gave us a little 48 star flag.
And the key here is that particular flag she gave you was not a reprint. It was from the original time period.
And you can tell by looking at it.
I know.
So
beautiful.
The point is that was the last edition. And but the 48 star flag, you can tell right away. Like we're watching movies or TV, I'll be like, 48 star flag. Like, how do you know that so quickly? Because the way the stars are aligned.
They align perfectly.
Straight lines on the 48 states. And I can never think of what the word is, but the 50 states, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 4, then 5, then 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's fun for me, because I am evil, to ask people, hey, how many states were there when you were born?
You're so evil.
Ken, you can't believe how many people can't answer that question.
How can you be so evil?
And there's only, at this point in history, there's only 2 choices, 48 or 50. So look it up and know.
How dare you?
You should know these things, Greta.
How dare you?
Don't you give me any lip, Greta Thunberg.
She should say something else once in a while.
How dare you?
She never does she?
No.
Even the liberal comedians make fun of her. Everybody makes fun of her.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Gervais did it, the Golden Globes. A little bit. All right, we are going to travel to Israel. As soon as we get back, Chris Arps is there. Let's hope a little safer and,
yes,
easier trip than last time. He's with Tim Jones. We'll talk to Chris next. Live from Israel on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. Vic and Ken.
They're just a bunch of pansies.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
What did he say? We're just a bunch of
Vic and
pansies?
Ken.
They're just a bunch of pansies.
That's the King Lemur, right?
Yeah.
Madagascar. God, what a great movie. When the king, first of all, he sends that little guy out to go test and see if the other animals are dangerous or not. And then he says to the giraffe, well, where are you giants from? And the one that's David Schwimmer's voice says, well, we're from New York. And then the King Lemur looks at the camera. He looks right at you and goes, oh, hell, the New York Giants. And I swear to God, Ken, I jumped out of my chair. It caught me by surprise. And then if you listen to that, the crowd of lemurs go, New York Giants, New York Giants.
Yeah.
So funny. All right, sorry. Let's talk about pizza. Want to talk about pizza?
Oh, always.
Now, listen, if you're hungry for something different, that's when you have to go taste the Chicago tradition at Nancy's Pizza in O'Fallon, Missouri. They're family-owned, veteran-owned. Nancy's brings you authentic Chicago-style stuffed crust pizza. Hot, cheesy, and piled high. Are they coming here with pizza?
I don't know.
God. Craving a crunch? Try the crispy tavern-style pizza. Plus, we have delicious gluten-free crusts. Try their mouth-watering selection of, wait a minute, they got pastas and sandwiches and salads besides? I can't take much more of this. And don't forget to join the loyalty program for tasty rewards, carry out and delivery only. 2007 Highway K in O'Fallon and at nancyspizza.com. Be sure you use the code NEWSTALK to receive 6 free breadsticks with your purchase. They better be coming by.
Colombo and Company.
The Trump administration is taking control of the Washington, D.C. PD and dispatched the National Guard to get crime under control in the Capitol. We'll discuss Tuesday, plus Crane Durham and Susie Moore.
Live and local, weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
When it comes to spending your tax dollars and teaching your kids, governments and school districts should be an open book. But in Missouri, that's not always the case. Recently, the Show Me Institute sent out a sunshine law request to school districts across the state, asking for information on whether certain topics are being taught. Specifically, a controversial one called critical race theory was included in the list. Many districts didn't respond. Some wanted to charge large fees to process the documents. Lee's Summit outside Kansas City wanted over $35,000. A rural district, Morgan County, wanted $15,000. The Sunshine Law does allow charging a reasonable fee for sending out information, but there's nothing reasonable about $35,000 or $15,000. These districts should want to be transparent about their curriculums. Taxpayers deserve to know what their kids are being taught. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros, your all-in-one gutter service team that brings years of experience and quality that's affordable right to your doorstep. We discovered Gutter Pros a few years ago when we bought our home and inherited a gutter issue that was on the road to becoming a potentially big problem, but thanks to Gutter Pros was stopped before causing any major damage. They've also repaired the siding on our home because along with gutter repair, gutter installation, and leaf protection, the Gutter Pros are also the best for siding repair and installation. Learn about all the ways Gutter Pros can help your home at gutterpros.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Now, my mamaw died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through things, we found 19 loaded handguns.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
4 to 6 o'clock this evening, Tim Jones and Chris Arps will be broadcasting live from Israel. We have one of those two handsome gentlemen with us right now, Chris Arps. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for giving us a ring.
Vic Porcelli, thank you, my friend.
So you're in Israel.
And Ken, sorry, don't leave him.
No, it's okay.
It's
No,
all right,
don't worry
Chris.
about him.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry about him.
Forget it.
So you're there a little less eventful than last time, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, but actually there was a missile attack. It wasn't near us. The other, I think yesterday, but nothing like in June where we were going down to bomb shelters and stuff. But you know, you're in a war zone, and once we get more into the interview, I can tell you how I was reminded of that today.
So did they say the missile hit the Iron Dome, Chris?
I think so. I don't have a lot of details on it, but they did tell us that a missile was shot towards Israel yesterday.
Okay. Can you give us a picture, Chris, of the IDF presence, men and women?
Well, I got to tell you, and maybe it's because I'm in a different part of town, I'm not seeing a whole lot of soldiers out. You know, when we were here back in June, you saw them everywhere with automatic weapons patrolling the streets. You do see a soldier here and there, but it's not a heavy presence. I mean, you guys know, and the audience knows, Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu have taken care of business when it comes to Hamas. You know, over the weekend, they killed, or it might have been yesterday or Sunday, Israel killed 4 Al Jazeera terrorists who were basically Hamas operatives. So that's got some of us a little apprehensive here, me included, that maybe Iran may retaliate for that, or Hamas may retaliate for that.
Did that happen in Israel?
No, it did not happen.
Okay.
I don't know where they were. I think it may have been Lebanon.
I gotta give you guys credit, man. If Jeff Allen said, "Hey, you and Ken want to go to Israel?" I'd be like, "Ken, have a good flight. Call me when you get there. We'll talk on the phone." I don't think I can do it.
Think about it, Vic. We're in Israel. This is probably the safest place you could ever be. I mean, there are police and soldiers. They're not like it was when we were here before, but there is a presence here. With the Newsmax group that we're here with, we have security with us. They're following around with us. So, we're protected, even though we're in a war zone.
Well, you're better than in D.C. at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Ken said that as soon as I took a sip of coffee. It was so funny. Oh my God. All right. So, how's the food?
You know, people that know me know that I am a very, very picky eater. I don't eat vegetables. My diet is pretty much meat and potatoes and bread.
Carnivore.
That's what I eat.
Yeah.
Carnivore.
Yeah.
So for somebody like me to come over here with basically a Mediterranean diet with peas and hummus and all that stuff, I'm not eating a lot, but the experience over here makes up for it. And I've always been a picky eater, and so I'm used to it. I hated when Thanksgiving used to come around because I knew I was not going to eat well that day, and the only good meal was going to be breakfast.
Are there any like McDonald's or Burger Kings there?
Yeah, they do have McDonald's, but it's a little different. Israel is kosher, So you will not get a cheeseburger in Israel. Can't combine dairy and meat.
Oh, well, did you know that?
And you won't. And if you have, a Big Mac, you're not going to have any special sauce on it.
Oh
So
my
that's mayonnaise,
God!
that's
Forget it.
eggs.
Close it down. Close it down.
You got to remember, everything is kosher.
Yeah.
So, Chris, we're live and local. Number one for live and local conservative talk. Okay, but right now we're international. So,
That's
News
right.
Talk STL's in Israel. Are you seeing any other local news sources from around the country there?
Great question.
I haven't. That's a good question. I haven't. But ironically, today, our dinner, we're going to have two of the leading Israeli journalists are coming to talk to our group. But no, I have not seen a lot. Well, let me put it. No, I got to change my mind on that because I'm here on a Newsmax trip, and a lot of people that you see regularly on Newsmax as contributors and anchors, they are here. So John Disney, people that watch Newsmax, senior White House correspondent, he is here with us, and he's actually going to be a guest on the show with us today.
Fantastic.
Well, we have Newsmax on right now as we speak here too.
Excellent.
That show is from 4 to 6 o'clock here in St. Louis, which is what time there? Like midnight?
Yeah, midnight to 2 over here.
Wow.
We're troopers.
Yeah, you are.
Troopers. Were you going to say something,
Can I tell you
Chris?
about-
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, can I tell you about today's day?
Yeah.
Because it was just extremely, extremely moving. We ended up going to a kibbutz, and that's a community of Jewish people where they share everything. You don't own your home; they share cars. It's a communal type of community. And we visited a kibbutz that's on the Israel-Gaza border, and 16 people from this kibbutz were murdered on October 7th. And so we got to talk to a couple of survivors of that day. They took us a tour around the kibbutz. We saw bullet holes in some of the houses. The gentleman they were talking to was just describing how that day was, where they were just literally, the terrorists were going house to house, shooting houses up, setting fires. And they were setting the fires so that people, couldn't breathe and would come out so they could shoot them. Well, I mean, the Holocaust was a terrible, terrible event. And you're like, how could man be so depraved and sink down to that level? What happened on October 7th? It may have not been the same numbers, but the same demonic depravity that happened on the Holocaust happened on October 7th. We've heard the stories of beheading babies, putting them in microwaves, raping
in front of the
women.
parents.
It's just horrible. In front of their parents. It's just horrible.
Hey, Chris, did you, going through that kibbutz, did you talk with anyone and find out how they survived? Like, did they hide? Because I was watching the reports and I thought to myself, these guys came down and found everybody.
Yeah. And it was so weird. It's like on the museum that we went to last night, talking about the October 7th, this thing was super, super planned out by Hamas. I mean, they had plans of the kibbutzes. One of the really startling things is they knew where to shoot at the doors to undo the locks and everything. Wow. So there's a picture on my Facebook page where there's like 3 strategically placed shots near the handle of a door, and they knew that would like break the mechanism of the lock, and they would be able to get in. The gentleman that we talked to today, he said that 12 of his family, they were in their safe room. Somebody saved them. I think somebody told the terrorist, he said that family is not home. And so they didn't try to enter anything and pass by them. But he just told a harrowing story where he was like, and they were in that safe room for 11 hours. And it was saying, you can't breathe, don't make a sound. And what was really incredible was in the room with them was a 1-year-old child who fortunately was asleep and didn't make a sound throughout all of this.
Wow.
God had his hand on that room.
So, Chris,
yeah.
This morning show played the audio of a video that Tim Jones made.
Yeah.
Right from where that festival was on October 7th, and he couldn't get through it. I couldn't get through it just listening to it. There's no way I could have said 2 words about that if I were there. So kudos to Tim and you.
Yeah, it was, we visited the site. If you go on my Facebook page, I have video of a young woman who lost her 24-year-old brother during this whole thing. I mean, it's a very moving site. It's what they have is just pictures of all the people that were there with their stories, just all types of things around it, commemorating them. I mean, when you see the pictures in that area on little poles, it kind of gives you kind of a perspective of just how many people were killed on that day. And connected with that, 1,600 cars were burned out during the music festival. They burned the cars, set them on fire. There's kind of a makeshift memorial that's about 2 miles from that, where they have all of the cars stacked on top of each other, and some of the cars that weren't burnt out, that were just shot up, they've got them displayed there. And they had one family, a family of 4. They were murdered. They were gunned down with automatic rifle fire, and you can see the bullet holes in the driver's side of the window. It's just a sad situation. And as I said, it's just hard to believe that people could have this much hatred and be just this depraved. One story, there's an ambulance that was at the festival, of course, and some young people went into the ambulance and tried to hide. And Hamas, showing how evil these people are, they shot up the van, they threw grenades in there to blow people up, and to finish the job, this is how sick these people are. To finish the job, they fired a rocket-propelled grenade at the ambulance, blew a giant hole on the side of it, and killed everybody.
Wow. Okay. Hamas is so disgusting in what they did. I mean, they treated human beings like cockroaches. They did everything that you can imagine bad to them. Chris, why is it that the national media is not prefacing that every time they mention something about Palestine?
Because they're falling for Hamas's propaganda.
Well, why don't they go? Why don't they go to Israel and see what's going on?
Vic, you're stealing my thunder, dang it. No,
Sorry.
That's what I was just about to say, because they haven't come over here and seen what we've seen and talked to the people that we have talked to. And I did a Facebook page on this, Facebook post on this a couple of hours ago, that I wish the leftists on these college campuses, and I wish the anti-Semites that are on the right, and those who are, who you are.
Yeah.
I wish they could come over here and talk to these people and see what we've seen. And if you could walk away with that still feeling like that, then you're not human. You're subhuman. You're subhuman along with these Hamas terrorists.
Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but
no, that's okay. I love you, sir.
It's the obvious, right? How can they say stuff if you haven't? What kind of? We've been talking about this for weeks. The research that should go on by anybody who's in any kind of journalistic function, and they don't do anything. They just go on past stories. They make stuff up, but nobody's had the guts to go to Israel, see what's going on, and then do a story based on that.
And Chris is right. You've got people on the right as well, like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. What's going on?
I don't know. He's
and there's a local person too, but I will not mention her name. She is just as bad. You go to her page, and it's just anti-Semitism screed after anti-Semitism screed. It's like every day almost.
All right.
And if I told you who she was, you would probably know the name, or the audience would know the name.
Okay, but you don't want to.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that to her.
That's
I don't want to give her any credit on News Talk STL. I don't want to defile News Talk STL's radio.
No problem. So, Chris, I got to tell you,
yes, sir.
Ken will back me up on this. From time to time, very unusually, but it's from time to time, I obsess about things. Ken, would you?
On rare occasion. Very rare.
No way.
If I find something that I like, I will go back and watch it 1,000,000 times. And there's a video that's no longer than 15 or 20 seconds. And it's a female IDF soldier and a Palestinian scumbag putting his finger in her face, and she slaps his hand away from her face. And then he still doesn't get the message. And then they are forehead to forehead. It reminded me of Michael Jordan and Xavier McDaniel in an NBA playoff game, forehead to forehead, and she didn't take anything from those people. That's why I asked you
And
about.
she said something to him too, and then he backed away.
Oh, there's no sound on it. That's
I
the
know,
problem.
I know.
I wish there was sound on it, but there's not. But Ken's right. She said something, and he backed off, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. That's all I want to say.
The one thing that I learned when I came over here last time, and here it's a whole new world over here in the Middle East in terms of the people are very, very direct over here. It almost borders on rudeness. And I asked my tour guide last time, I was like, why is that? People are so direct here that it's almost rude. And he says, it's not meant to be rude. It's just that we don't have time to figure out if you're friend or foe.
Right.
We need to know where you're at the beginning. So it comes across as rude, but they're not. But they're very, very direct here. And so it doesn't surprise me that IDF female soldier got into that soldier's face.
That makes sense
and
now.
I tell you, and I tell you one thing too, and this is imbued in every Jewish person's soul, their spirit, wherever they are in the world. And we learned this at the Holocaust Museum that we went to yesterday. After what happened to the Jews after the Holocaust and World War II, and especially all the things that happened to them before with the wars with the Arabs, their national rallying cry is never again. And it's not just some cute, oh, okay, yeah, never again, that's cute, yeah. No, they seriously mean that. It's like what happened to us during the Holocaust and during October 7th will never happen to us again. The one thing that when you come over here to Israel, they are fiercely, fiercely proud of their country. They love being Israelis. They love the progress that Israel has done. And they just want to live in peace. They really do. I believe that. They just want to live in peace.
All right, Chris, have a good show this afternoon. We'll talk to Tim tomorrow. You guys are brave souls, man. We appreciate you very much.
Thanks for that. Did I mention that bombs went off when we were at the Israeli Gaza Strip when we were talking at the kibbutz? Did I mention that?
No.
Have a great day, guys.
We'll get the tease. We'll see ya.
Jamie Ullman here with the great Eric Swanson of Newstetter's Fine Jewelers, Dorothy Ferry, and Big Ben. Tell me about Wow Diamonds.
Wow Diamonds. We call them that because when people come in and look at the diamonds, everyone says, wow. We feature those in natural diamonds, the mine diamonds. They're perfectly cut, polished, and proportioned. Not all diamonds come out of the cutting process the same, and ours are perfect. That's why they're called Wow Diamonds.
Newstetter's Fine Jewelers right there at Dorothy Ferry and Big Bend, wowdiamonds.com.
Dude, this house is perfect. Crumbs everywhere, sticky counters. I've already texted the colonies.
Sweet. I'll bring my 500 cousins. This will be the biggest ant rager of the summer.
Let's party! Wait, what's that sound? Oh, no, it's those trucks with the green wheels. Party's over, man. Party's over.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888 to learn more about our special $67 offer.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street is liking this. Consumer prices rose less than expected last month, rising 2.7% compared to a year ago. It's easing fears over the potential impact of President Trump's tariffs. The president vowing to make D.C. safe again.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor.
Mr. Trump calling out the National Guard. He's also federalizing the D.C. police force. City officials object. They claim that violent crime has declined significantly in the district over the past few years. Protesters turned out not far from where they were marching and shouting in the street. There was another fatal shooting. Suspect in custody following a shooting outside a Target store in Austin, Texas.
We have 3 people that are deceased. This is a very sad day for Austin. It's a very sad day for us all.
Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis, heard there on KBUE TV, says the suspect is a 32-year-old male with a mental health history. President Trump describing his upcoming summit with Russia's Vladimir Putin as a feel-out meeting.
When he sits down with Putin on Friday, the president predicts he'll know the outcome right away.
Probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made.
And he says the meeting in Alaska could go one of 2 ways.
I may say Lots of luck. Keep fighting. Or I may say we can make a deal.
The president says both Russia and Ukraine will have to give up land in order to end the war. Greg Clugston, the White House.
And Wall Street is well pleased with today's report on consumer prices. The Dow is up 460 points, a gain of just over 1%. The Nasdaq ahead 149, and the S&P is up 46 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Leah Hill with your first alert forecast. You'll step out this morning and notice that temperatures are a little bit warmer. And it's also going to be a bit hotter today, a high of 92 degrees. In the late afternoon and evening, keep an eye on some scattered showers and storms. A few of these could produce 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, as well as bursts of heavy rain. Overnight tonight, we fall into the 70s and the 80s briefly tomorrow. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Leah Hill.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, welcome home to 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, hour 2 of our 3-hour tour. Another Rock'em Sock'em show, courtesy of Batman there.
Thanks, Vic.
You got it, baby. All right, let's get our next guest going, Larry Behrens. Love talking to this guy so much from Power of the Future. Larry, welcome back to the show. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. It's great to talk with you.
Good to talk with you. So I get so mad, okay, when Democrat, because here's been our plan. Ken and I have had this plan for about a month now. Republicans, conservatives, we need to be on the offense. We can't wait for them to say something and then we're on the deep. We need to be on the offense, right? And when Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden both threatened to just close coal plants, we didn't say enough about how bad that was and how many jobs would be lost. Oh, just learn how to code was Biden's message.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. And not only that, folks on our side showed up at those solar panel and those windmill ribbon cuttings and say rah rah. And now it's so ingrained in DC that even some Republicans are like, oh, we like this free money. Well, yeah, everyone likes free money, but it's not good for ratepayers and it's not good for our country for sure.
Larry, I keep getting these notices still. It's amazing to me about solar, about on your home. Hey, you can get deferred payments and all that stuff. Are they pulling back some of that regulation and pulling back some of that money, that free money that they were getting for green energy?
Yeah, the one big beautiful bill took out a lot of those credits, and just I think late last week, President Trump stopped the program. It was called Solar for All, and it was essentially $7 billion for folks to put solar panels on their rooftops. Now, they said it was low income and middle income families, but lo and behold, it was, it's homeowners. And because of Biden's economy, I don't know any homeowners anymore that are low income. It's just the way that Joe Biden, has the world going. And so he put a stop to that. A lot of those credits are stopping. And that's what you see the left's getting worked up about right now. They're screaming because solar and wind have to stand on equal footing, and they can't. No one is paying me extra to have a gas-powered vehicle. No one is paying me extra to have natural gas heat my home. No, that is the most economical and reliable product available to me, and so that's what I use. And the fact is, when they whine, they just prove that, you know, their preferred methods can't stand up without our tax dollars, you know, bringing the gravy train.
All right, so solar panels. I've wondered this for a long time. We have this is just a little stupid story, Larry, and it's on such a smaller level, but if we can expand it maybe to a more global situation. We have this little light on the back of our house, right? So we stuck it on there, and it's solar powered, right? So, and it's motion censored. So when you walk in front of it, it goes on. But if it's cloudy for like 3 or 4 days in a row, it doesn't work very well, or sometimes not at all. So I'm like, how do they do this in Alaska where it's dark half the year?
The answer is they don't, and you're exactly right. That's why when you see them so happy with solar, they're usually in the desert Southwest where it's sunny 300 plus days a year. Yeah, outside London, they're not getting a whole lot of solar power going on. And so you're right. Let's take it to the bigger scale. So on July 28th, the United States used more electricity than we've ever used in a single day ever. It broke the record that was set actually the day before. And it was hot. We were all running our ACs. And when you took a look at what sources of energy were being used when we were using the most power demand that we've ever had, number one, natural gas. Number two was coal. Number three was nuclear. Solar and wind were down at the bottom of the heap, and particularly wind. It is so unpredictable and intermittent, it just couldn't perform. Solar, I'll say this about it, it's reliable. It shows up when the sun's there, it goes away when the sun's not, but it cannot provide enough energy to keep things like, I don't know about you, but I like having power when the sun goes down.
No kidding.
I'm sure hospitals and prisons and everything does too. And so the fact that we have an administration that says we're not going to pick winners and losers here, choose what you want, that's why the Green Left is screaming, because they know we're going to choose what they don't want us to choose.
And that's the perfect attitude to have. And I want to make sure everybody understands that about this show, is that we are common sense. And I want solar to work. I want windmills to work, but the windmills are the worst, probably.
They're killing the whales.
But solar, the recyclability of both of these different types of energy, it's not working. It's just not working. Okay, I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, it's non-existent, and the shelf life of these products.
Yeah,
because everyone will tell you, yes, wind and sun are renewable. But yes, they are. The sun is going to shine for a while, the wind's going to blow for a while, but the devices we use to capture them are not renewable. And yes, their shelf life is about 20 years. And so, lo and behold, if you get it on your house and you get a 20-year, interest deferred loan to pay it off, well, just about the time they stop working is just about the time you're going to have them paid off, and you're going to have to start from the beginning again. And the issue is, it does work if you're in a rural area and there's no other, options. You do have to ration your electricity, but that's a great place for solar. And I'll just say this real quick. When we had an administration during the last administration, they said you're going to only prefer wind and only prefer solar. That kills innovation in anything else. That says, you know what, I was going to maybe try to find a better natural gas turbine. I was maybe going to try to find a smaller nuclear reactor that could help out, but that's not being incentivized right now. And so when they take the gloves off and say, everybody, free for all and compete, that opens the door for innovation for what will probably be powering us in the years to come.
We're talking to Larry Behrens from Power of the Future, at Power of the Future, and at Larry Behrens on X. So let's talk about nuclear a little bit. I think since, Kiev and, the 3 Mile Island thing, I think we've learned much more and educated ourselves, and the technology is that the time is right for nuclear power widespread. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong. The knock against nuclear is the time it takes to get it up and get it going, which is, I'll say, a half fair knock. I mean, and we should do it safely and wisely, and it can absolutely be done in those directions. I just have to chuckle a little bit when I see a company that their name rhymes with Microsoft, and they're looking for energy for their AI,
right?
And you have Bill Gates, their founder, who tells me and you that we have to use sun panels and windmills. But yet, when Microsoft wants to power AI, what are they going to do? They're going to spin up 3 Mile Island again, which I think is great. More, no pun intended, power to them. But the fact of the matter is they know that the solar and wind that their founder pushes on the rest of us is not reliable enough to power their AI diet. And so they're going to turn to something that's reliable. It's completely hypocritical.
3 Mile Island is still there? Those power plants are still there?
The structure is still there, and yeah, Microsoft is working on a deal. Folks can look it up to get at least one reactor. And here's another fun little thing: they're doing this called behind the meter deal. So Microsoft will approach a nuclear facility and say, "Hey, don't put it on the grid where the regular people can get our power. We want to make sure we have dedicated power, and we'll just slip you money on a 1-to-1 deal." Well, that's great, but it was the taxpayers and the ratepayers who paid to build to that facility. And so we're seeing these large corporations come in, try to slide the rest of us out. So our rates go up because they force-fed us wind and solar, but they keep their own rates low because they're getting the affordable and reliable power.
New Jersey has at least one Salem nuclear plant. I don't know how many more are there, but I didn't realize they were still there. I'm stupid, I guess. I thought this would, no nukes, and just tore the things down. So maybe less time, Larry, to get them going is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, we have one here, in Missouri that provides about 10% of the power for all of Missouri. It's about 30 miles from me, and so it does a great job. And you can, maybe put another reactor online on those that have already been approved. I know Palo Verde in California, they're having to keep that open. They were going to try to close that down. There's one in Arizona. The thing is, the leftists hate nuclear power, and they'll start telling you, "Oh, Chernobyl," but really, what it is, it's because it's not Chinese solar panels. And that's why they hate it. They'll tell you, "Oh, emissions are so terrible." Well, here's a power source that does no emissions. And they'll say, "Oh, no, but not that one." Well, okay, it's really not about the emissions. You want us to buy, Xi Jinping's power source. That's fine. Just be open to the fact that you don't love America if you're a green leftist. The fact of the matter is, energy made in the USA is not only better, but it's more affordable. And lo and behold, it actually puts people to work too.
So $369 billion in green power giveaways. Electric rates went crazy. Now, this kills me. This is right out of the Democrat playbook, though, and I'm sure out of Saul Alinsky's playbook, too.
Yeah.
They're blaming Trump for what they did. Matter of fact, a bunch of senators sent a letter demanding that Trump do something about electric bills when they made them go up. But now it's his responsibility to make them go down?
Yeah, it was. I saw that letter and I laughed, and it was the usual suspect. It was Elizabeth Warren and a couple of other Yahoo Democrat senators from the Northeast, and they, just like the eggs, right? Trump was in office all of 5 seconds, and they sent him a letter. "Oh, look at the egg prices you brought us."
Yeah.
Right, and now they're doing the same. And yeah, electric bills are high. My electric bill here in Missouri has shot up, even though I use less electricity than last year. And why? It's because the government for the last 4 years incentivized utilities, and utilities love free money, and they went down the solar and wind path. And lo and behold, that is more expensive energy because you have to buy energy from other people when the sun's not shining, and that becomes more expensive. And so when you look at the Northeast, where these senators were from, they have laughed and enjoyed the fact that coal and natural gas plants have shut down. They try to stop every pipeline that comes in, and then they're all shocked and amazed when electric bills go up. And their bottom line is they think the American people are stupid. It's kind of like when they tried to blame the gas prices on Putin. And it's like, no, we saw that they were shooting through the roof before Putin ever crossed into Ukraine. And so the American people didn't buy it then. Hopefully they aren't going to buy it now. But to your point, that's not going to stop them from blaming it.
No, and they're going to continue. Larry, my electric bill reached over $300 for the first time in a month, and I mean, grocery prices are still up. I will not blame Trump for this. This is something that Joe Biden and his administration, and I say, when you say Joe Biden now, you realize it's probably 8 other people, but they did this the last 4 years to us. Now, my question to you is, do you think America is seeing this? Do you think America in general, I'm not talking about the far lefties, but in general, is America starting to realize, well, they did this the last 4 years and he's trying to get it down?
Yeah, I think so. I think for 2 reasons. One is Joe Biden passed a thing called the Inflation Reduction Act, and it didn't have any impact on inflation. To your point, it was a $369 billion green slush fund. And so we threw more money at green energy, quote unquote green energy, than any other time in the history of the world. And where was it, 3 weeks ago when we needed record power? Well, it was about the 5th and 6th highest sources. So more money than anything, more money than we spend in the entire year on the U.S. Navy was spent on green energy, to kind of give you an idea on that. And it didn't show up. Now, how does that happen? Well, that's when you start to see, we have $7 billion here for electric vehicle chargers, and we built whopping 5 of them. And you start to see it was all a grift the whole time. And yet now ratepayers are literally being told to, hold the bill. And Democrats are saying, look, Trump's fault. The American people are smart on that because they see the gas pump and the prices going down there. They know these things take time. They know the left pushed a bill that, put their green agenda in charge, and it just ruined everything. And it's going to take some time to spin out of that.
The deviousness of the left, Larry, the Inflation Reduction Act. We have an acronym that we use here on the show. It's called EDSTOIT. Everything Democrats say, the opposite is true. And that is true. And if you go to see how they name their bills, right? Inflation Reduction Act, so that they today can argue, well, we have the Inflation Reduction Act. What do you think we're doing here?
Right.
But they couldn't call it the Inflation, make it bigger act, because that's what it was. EDSTOIT, remember?
Yeah, it is. It's really funny. And it's interesting, 4 or 5 months after it was clear inflation wasn't getting better, Joe Biden openly admitted, we should have called that like a climate bill. It's
right.
Yeah. And then they openly admitted that they lied to you. And now they're going to say, but trust us, it's Trump's fault on the electric bills.
Right.
And so the good news is there are some things, a few, switches President Trump can throw to help it in the short term, but the bigger solutions are going to take a while.
Remember that acronym, EDSTOIT. Everything Democrats say, the opposite is true. All right, so let's talk about EVs for a little while here, Larry, while we have a few minutes left. Electric vehicles, fine. You want to get an electric vehicle? Go ahead. I'm not even saying you're stupid for doing it. A guy across the street from me, he's got a Tesla. I see him plugging it into his garage all the time. But I think it's a difference in a direct dichotomy of mandating it and having the choice to get it if you want, which I think is called liberty. So, mandating electric vehicles, that's tyranny right there. Again, everything Democrats say, the opposite is true. That's what they accuse Donald Trump of doing.
I mean, darn you! Can you just take your common sense and put it in check for a while?
Yeah, really.
You're so cynical. No, you're absolutely right. And let's take it further, right? And so Ken had a bigger electric bill. I had a bigger electric bill. Me too. And I don't know about Ken's house, but I wasn't charging an EV in my house during that time.
My God!
I was not.
Oh my God!
The second biggest energy suck in a home behind the air conditioner is an EV.
Oh, wow.
And so all those folks who are told to get one, it's going to save you money. Well, now they come after your electric rates. How much money are you saving there? And you're exactly right. You see a pattern here. You see they tell you, well, EV's better for you. And you say, no, thanks. No, we're going to mandate you buy it. It's well, then if it's so much better for me, why do you have to force me to buy it? Why can't I choose it on my own? And there you see the lie. It's the same with the sun panels and the windmills. It's so great, we have to force you to buy it.
Well, Larry, I love the idea of an EV. I think they're pretty cool. If you have 4 cars, if you have your primary vehicle to be something else, if you could afford that, then an EV is really cool. If you'll notice, the advertising they're doing right now are for high-end only EVs, because it's for people who can afford to use that car when it's nice outside, when everything's cool, when they're going a short distance. But when it comes to being a primary vehicle, that is extremely dangerous for a family.
That's my man Ken Williams right there, Larry.
Oh man, I guess Ken has never seen Florida, where all the older folks have just full-on EV communities. Yeah, they call them golf carts.
Right. That's what I mean. That's great.
That's the most
I love that.
EV in history is the golf cart. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's all the bigger ones are glorified golf carts.
So
and again,
funny.
If you want it, great. Just don't force me to pay for it
Right.
through subsidy or force me to buy it.
Liberty, baby, liberty. That's all we want is liberty. So this may help you guys to have to help keep the electric bills down a little bit. I usually have a tour of my house for my kids. I'll say, if you look to your left, you'll see the light switch. Please turn that off whenever you're leaving the room. Damn it.
Sounds like my dad.
It's a very short tour. It's very short. It's just for the front door to the.
What do you air condition the outside? I heard that every single day of the summer when I was growing up.
I can't afford to air condition the whole neighborhood. All right, Larry.
The hot air is escaping. I know. We all heard it.
Yeah.
Always great to talk to you, man. We miss hearing you all the time. Power of the Future. Tell us in about a minute what that's all about, would you?
Sure. We're just a nonprofit that advocates for American energy. If it's energy that says made in the USA, we're fans of it. And that's why we speak out a bit against solar and wind, because that comes from China. And, folks will say, oh, well, we build solar panels here. Great. Do it without my tax dollars. And so it's really simple. If you're an American energy worker, we're behind you.
All right. So if you're going to use the Ed's toy thing, give us credit for it, okay? Because we say things on this show, and then national people say it all the time. The Jasmine Crockett thing with Benny Johnson, we said that 6 months ago because she's from here, okay? So just don't leave us out in the cold.
I'll say copyright Vic and Ken after.
Perfect. Awesome.
Perfect. Larry, thank you so much, man.
You guys stay cool.
Hey, see you, Larry.
At Power of the Future and at Larry Behrens.
Yeah,
That's
he's
how you
so good,
find him.
man.
Oh, my God, he's awesome. And he had a show here on the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
Then he left us. It's your fault.
No,
he said, I'm not staying
I was producing the show, actually.
Oh, were you?
So it was my
fault.
fault.
That makes more sense.
He's
Yeah.
right.
I'm not working with Ken Williams. Getting the hell out of here. All right, so I can't wait to do the story. Adam Schiff got on television news shows in 2015 and told us he had definitive proof
daily
that Donald Trump was colluding with the Russians. Wait until you hear this next story. You're going to love it. On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. Vic and Ken.
I'm not weird. You're weird. You guys are being so weird.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio every weekend on News Talk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. What else do our listeners need to know, Doug?
Simply put, I focus on helping pre-retirees and retirees build, preserve, and protect retirement assets, and I've been helping my clients solve their insurance and financial needs for the past 33 years. I also strive to educate my clients on how to prepare for retirement, minimize the impact of market volatility on their assets, and deal with the challenges of increased longevity. Call me today at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, Mike Ferguson here. And for nearly 40 years, Nutrition Stop has been St. Peter's trusted source for natural living. They've got a great, knowledgeable staff offering more than just products. They provide guidance on your wellness journey with exceptional service. From 100% grass-fed meats like elk and bison and local produce to quality supplements and clean household products. 4101 Mexico Road in St. Peter's, just off the interstate at Cave Springs and Highway 70.
Escape to Stone Ledge Distillery in historic Defiance, Missouri, where Missouri-made spirits meet unforgettable experiences. Sip handcrafted cocktails and martinis in our lounge, unwind in the private cigar room, or soak up the outdoors on our outdoor patio and live music stage. Celebrate Stolock Ozark Highlands whiskey, Inversion vodka, and the best of Missouri spirits. One drink at a time. Mention News Talk STL and get 10% off your tab. Visit stoneledgedistillery.com. Your getaway starts here.
Hey, it's Vic Porcelli, and my favorite sandwich from Capriati's is the Wagyu beef French dip. So good. It's the au jus that makes it. And the Wagyu beef is pretty good, too. I love Capriati's, and you will, too.
On Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
Fall is here, and Daniel's Farm and Greenhouse has everything you need to make your yard shine. From vibrant mums and fall blooms to pumpkins, gourds, and seasonal containers that will make your neighbors jealous. Need trees, shrubs, or vegetables? We got you covered with 15 greenhouses of full-quality plants, mulch, soil, and winter protection supplies. Our family knowledgeable staff is here to help you 7 days a week. Daniel's Farm and Greenhouse, family-owned and your outdoor experts. On Juggerman and St. Peters and at danielsfarmandgreenhouse.com.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Yes, I listen on my phone.
Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new News Talk STL app.
It is awesome.
And listen anytime.
Love the News Talk STL app.
Anywhere. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Larry Connors here, the Vic Porcelli Show with Vic and Ken. Always informative, entertaining, and you might even learn some Italian.
I'd like to talk about the ongoing melodrama of what Barack Obama knew or did not know in his involvement with Russian collusion, the hoax that plagued the Donald Trump 2016 campaign, tried to undermine his transition in 2016 and 17, and ate up the first 22 months of his presidency in 2017 and 18, and was found to be completely bogus. There are three blind mice involved in this tale. John Brennan, the former CIA director, James Clapper, the former director of national intelligence, and James Comey, the former FBI director. And they all have new manifestations of their untruthfulness. Let's start with John Brennan. He's very angry right now because the trove that was released by Tulsi Gabbard of new documents and investigations may or may not have criminal referrals come out of them, and Pam Bondi may file new charges. The problem that Brennan has is that he went to a meeting and he presented a false picture of CIA assessments. The so-called CIA heads of various divisions found no Russian collusion. They said to John Brennan, there's nothing there that we can see that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. He rejected that, cherry-picked 4 or 5 other analysts, and then presented a false picture to Barack Obama. Or did he? Or did Barack Obama request that he do that?
I think this should be a Dateline episode. Or did he?
Pam?
Exactly, Ken. I can't even see his face without going, Pam Hupp. Not to mention, that was from O'Fallon, Missouri.
Right.
All right, so I'm sorry.
Victor Davis Hanson, he's just somebody who attracts. I mean, when you listen to him, you're just like, you get sucked in. And the thing about it is, at the very end, he mentioned something about Obama. And I think that is the main part of this whole thing. Barack Obama is the architect. He's the enabler. He's the one who actually got this ball rolling. Because Hillary was in trouble, by the way. If you remember what was going on in December of 2016, Vic, Hillary was in deep doo-doo. I mean, she was down, and she was ready to be. They were looking at investigating her even deeper. And then Barack Obama said, "We need to deflect." And how can we do that?
So Obama, buck stops here with Obama.
That's right. Buck stops here.
So at the risk of sounding racist, and I am not racist.
No, you're not. So,
but you can't say anything about Obama being guilty about anything because he was our nation's first black president.
Well, we can on this show.
But you see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get. Back then, yes, I can even understand that it was even more powerful back then, but
People
not today.
Idolize him.
No, he's in a. Oh, it's a cult. You mean a cult? Is that what you're talking about, Vic? It doesn't matter. I mean, we're not racist. I know we're not, and so do our listeners.
I love the three blind mice theory of Victor Davis Hanson, John Brennan, James Clapper, and James Comey. And let's just call it what it is. All three of them lied to Congress.
They lied.
Back when perjury used to be a thing, they would be charged with perjury.
Well, I mean, it hasn't been that long ago. Mike Flynn will tell you that.
Well, then why aren't we on the offensive? Why are we not on the offensive with this story?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This needs to be on the offensive. The Congress needs to say, well, you know what? Here's the biggest problem. I think that, honestly, this is the biggest problem of everything. The left has done so much illegal, done so much criminal activity the last 4 years. They're just trying to pull stuff together. I think they're trying. They've got so much to do. They're pulling stuff together right now.
But part of what they're how'd you word that?
Pulling it together.
They're pulling things together, but they're not. They shouldn't be. We shouldn't allow them to. We should not be allow them to pull things together. This is what I'm talking about when I say be on the offensive with things like this, because Brennan and Clapper and Comey, they need to be like in the old movies with the light in their eyes. Where are we on the night of June 21st? You know what I mean?
Oh,
they
no,
need to
I
get
agree.
some truths out from all three of them. You know, we need to ask James Comey a little bit off track here, but stay with me. We need to ask James Comey. So, James, really, you were walking down the beach, and then the waves came, right? And the waves came over your feet, and then when the waves went back to the oh my God, these shells just happened to say 86.47.
How pretty look at the numbers.
Look at that, honey.
Look at the numbers.
You think
hon.
that means anything? No, she says no. Go ahead, put it up. Oh
no, my wife.
Right.
My wife told me that I should probably post it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You threw your wife under the bus. There you go.
All right, enough of that. But because I really want to talk about Adam Schiff.
Yeah, let's do that.
Watermelon head, pencil neck. Don't even know how that pencil neck holds up that big old watermelon head. He can, and I have said this too, and guarantee somebody's going to say it nationally in the next couple of days. He has been the loudest lately.
Oh, yeah.
Every single day he does a TikTok or Instagram video talking about Trump. So he walks while he's doing it like, hey, look at me. I'm Adam Schiff. I'm real cool. And Donald Trump really sucks.
And if it's not about Russian collusion, it's about his mortgage fraud. He'll say, this is all politically driven. This is all politics.
So he's in so much trouble right now. And I got to say right now, talk about being on the offensive. If Adam Schiff is not charged with some sort of crime, and I'm going to go as far as saying convicted of that crime, we are not being on the offensive enough.
We aren't.
Because he can't say on every single news show, I have definitive evidence that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. Because he didn't. Donald Trump didn't. Like, wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall when Adam Schiff found out that Donald Trump did not collude with the Russians? Well, he knew that. But
yeah,
when
he didn't want everybody else to know.
Right,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when everybody else found out about it, he must have been like just, I don't know.
He'd probably turn white as a ghost.
So
with a pencil neck.
John Solomon created this news site called Just the News. And this story
we refer to that, by the way. We refer to those articles a lot.
Yeah, that's great. And John Solomon's great. But here's the deal. Whistleblower told the FBI that Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information in order to discredit President Donald Trump, according to new released documents. That whistleblower was a Democrat. It wasn't even like a Republican witch hunt after Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat whistleblower.
So let's make sure we got this right. So tell us again, what did that whistleblower do?
He said that Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information. That's a crime right there, I believe.
It could be.
Releasing classified information? That has to be.
That's incorrect. Was that information steering a political view?
You're a step ahead of me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Leaking classified information.
That sounds to me like if it's classified, it shouldn't be leaked.
I don't care if it's talking about the price of food at Aldi's. If it's a classified document, you can't leak that.
You're right.
In order to, now we get into what you're talking about, to discredit President Donald Trump, according to newly released documents. So what happens now to Adam Schiff? That's my question. I want him in front of a committee.
Sweating his ass off.
I'm trying to think of which committee I want him under. Probably
we could be under ethics. It could be under oversight.
Right. Yeah. I want him in front of some committee. And I want him answering questions. And I want
it could be under foreign affairs as far as that goes. It's Russia collusion that he lied about.
You're right. And Ken, I'm going to make this prediction.
Okay.
That if that does happen, if Adam Schiff does sit and testify before a committee, that even the Democrats won't vehemently stand up for him, defend him.
You really don't think so?
I think they will, but they'll do it in a way where it wasn't, because they don't want to get in trouble like he's in. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, no, I understand that part of it, but what they're saying right now, what did they try for it? Now remember, this went quiet. Remember how we even announced this back about 2 weeks ago. We talked about how they're all saying on the left that they're quacks. They're crazy. They're nuts. Adam Schiff himself said, Tulsi Gabbard's a quack. Or no, Tulsi Gabbard's nuts. She's crazy.
Judge Jeanine Pirro.
And that's right. She's nuts. And then RFK Jr., he's a quack. So they're trying to diminish the integrity of the Trump administration. That's the first move, but they stopped doing that recently.
And this is another thing they have to focus on. This is a whistleblower from his own party. And during the first impeachment hearing, Adam Schiff mentioned a whistleblower. And then the Republicans asked, who is that whistleblower? Oh, we have to protect the identity of whistleblowers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's all for whistleblowers. So now he's screwed because this is a whistleblower. And this person's name probably will be released and then he'll be dead. But the thing is this staffer, when working in this capacity, was called to an all-staff meeting by Schiff. In this meeting, Schiff stated the group would leak classified information which was derogatory to President of the United States, Donald John Trump. Schiff stated the information would be used to indict President Trump.
So he's actually announcing that to these people, to the whistleblower.
At a meeting, yeah.
He's saying, yes, this is illegal, but we're going to do it, and here's why we're going to do it.
So at that meeting, the whistleblower says this would be illegal. Upon hearing his concerns, unnamed members of the meeting reassured that they would not be caught leaking classified information.
So wait a minute, the whistleblower actually in the meeting said that, and then they said, oh, don't worry about it, we're not going to be caught.
That's right.
That fits perfectly with what we said the Democrats' attitude's been for the last 4 years.
Exactly right.
10 years.
And let's not forget how, I don't know if it's treason, I don't know, it's how criminal it is to leak a classified document.
Not only that, I get that. That's terrible. That should be a criminal offense, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lie, too. Look how it affected this country. Look what it did to an American citizen by the name of Donald J. Trump. At the time, a private citizen running for president.
Yep.
And what the hell that they put this man through as a private citizen of this country. And by the way, any one of us could be exposed to that same attitude on a smaller scale if they were in control still.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
All right. Wow.
Yep, it's crazy. And I'm telling you, we can't just say that really quickly. Oh, he leaked classified document. No. He leaked a classified document. They raided Mar-a-Lago for the same reason.
Trying to find a lot of information that they realized wasn't there. It might have been in a Burton bag that they found.
Well, Adam Schiff wanted to release the classified document specifically to indict President Trump.
For that very purpose.
So that means Barack Obama can be indicted too.
Yep, I want to see him. I want to see Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton up in front of a hearing.
And they'll start turning on each other like you can't believe.
This, you know what I think? This is one thing that we've talked about. I know that you're like wondering, well, what are they doing? I think they're going with lower level people right now and saying, look, if you become one of these people that tells us the truth and exposes what they've done, then we'll let you pass. But if you don't, you're a part of it.
Yep. All right, we got a big guest coming to town next month. We'll let you know who that is and where that is, coming back on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Some of these protesters hold up signs proclaiming gays for Gaza. They might as well hold up signs saying chickens for KFC.
On News Talk STL. This is 101.9 and 94.1.
I have to tell you, if this is how they're going to behave, I'm rethinking my position.
News Talk STL.
Hey, Tony Colombo here with Tim Jones for our friends Rodney and Jen Wallner, the Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway, the #1 home selling team in the St. Louis area. And I can say that from firsthand experience. My wife and I were blown away from the results that we saw from working with Rodney and Jen, from selling our old home faster and for more money than we thought possible to finding our family's perfect new home. They over-delivered every step of the way. And right now, it's still very much a seller's market. So, Tim, for folks that have been thinking about selling their home, it's a perfect time to call the Wallners.
That's right, Tony. And don't forget, they're licensed in both Missouri and Illinois. So no matter where you are in the metro area, you can put St. Louis's #1 home selling team to work for you. The Wallners experience and work ethic, second to none. And of course, the numbers speak for themselves. The Wallners sell 15 times more homes per year than the typical realtor. Right now, they're working with so many qualified buyers, they'll guarantee to obtain you an offer. If you've been thinking about selling your home, don't wait. Call the Wallners now at 314-810-SOLD. That's 314-810-SOLD for the Wallner Home Selling Team.
You've worked hard for your money, so protect it. Meet my friend Bob Leslie and ask about the Gain and Retain Plan. Leslie Consulting, 40 years in the St. Louis area as a leader in brokerage and risk management. Call 314-721-0066, 721-0066. Oh, and ask Bob how he was the LA Dodger #1 pick. LeslieConsulting.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at INHSTL.com. That's INHSTL.com.
Hey, Colombo here for Intervine, a great local company that has customers all across the country due to the quality of their products. Intervine has the best flashlights, lanterns, headlamps, and even batteries, including the new Monster 2000 Lumen waterproof lantern and the Sentinel 2000 self-defense flashlight. Our home and vehicles are full of great Intervine products, and right now you can shop their website and get 25% off your entire purchase just by using my name, Tony, as your promo code. That's promo code Tony at Intervine.com.
Jamie Allman here for O'Fallon Family Floors. Experience the passion. Oh, yeah. You can go in and see the best variety, the best pricing, the best quality, the best personalized service right there off of Highway K in O'Fallon, or you can have the store come to you. Oh, yeah. Brian and his team take great pride in running a fantastic flooring outlet, and you can get their 5-star ratings right there on Google. Just check it out. It's O'Fallon Family Floors, O'FallonFamilyFloors.com.
Hello, I'm Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik. August 14th is National Able Savings Day, a time to highlight how ABLE accounts empower individuals with disabilities. Our More ABLE program helps Missourians save for everyday needs without losing public benefits. To celebrate, we are offering a $25 match for anyone who opens a new account in August. Earnings grow tax-free and contributions qualify for a state tax reduction. Let's help more Missourians build financial independence. Learn more at moreable.com.
Paid for by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office. Fox News commentary.
Why does New York City mayoral frontrunner Zohran Mamdani live in a rent-stabilized apartment? I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
You think your 401k is safe, growing, reliable. But here's the truth. The 401k was never designed to make you wealthy. It was built to shift risk onto you, leaving your retirement exposed to Wall Street crashes, inflation, and chaos. Noble Gold helps Americans roll over part of their 401k into real physical gold. Tax advantage, penalty-free, and shockproof. Get your free wealth protection kit now at noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Stabilized apartments in New York City are intended to be for low-income individuals and their families, not for the wealthy like New York City mayoral frontrunner and proud socialist Zohran Mamdani. But nevertheless, as his challenger and former governor Andrew Cuomo pointed out, Mamdani lives in a $2,300 per month one-bedroom apartment in Astoria, Queens. Mamdani is not low-income. In fact, he has a 6-figure income, wealthy parents, and owns property in another country. His wife is also employed and makes a good living. Let's not forget the two just celebrated their wedding on his family's compound in Uganda, complete with private armed security. Yet he has the audacity to campaign on the affordability crisis when he himself is occupying a rent-stabilized apartment that should be left to someone who truly needs that feature. This guy is a fraud and a phony. Mamdani will destroy New York City. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Producer Joey B here. Tuesday, Tim and Chris are broadcasting from Israel. Find out what it's like having the CEO of Newsmax as your tour guide through the Holy Land.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL. This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken.
Wow, I've never seen a crowd like this.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
And welcome to it. News Talk STL and the Hammond Center for Free Enterprise, bringing Steve Forbes to Lindenwood University on September 18th with the help of the Young America's Foundation and West and Mid Rivers News Magazine. Free. It's a free event. You can get tickets for free at our website, newstalkstl.com. September 18th at 7 p.m. with Steve Forbes at the beautiful Scheidegger Center for the Arts, part of the H.F. Langenberg Memorial Speaker Series. That's going to be a great night of financial talk, you know. I mean, he may have changed his thing now, but when I talked to him years ago, 17% flat tax was his big idea. So,
who's that?
Steve Forbes.
Oh.
Going to be at our thing.
Another thing.
You know our thing? What about the other thing?
Yeah, it's ready.
Is Drew ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Drew Allen of the Drew Allen Show podcast.
It's people who love this country and respect freedom and want to preserve it for the future. You know, it really shouldn't be political.
Amico mio, come stai?
Ciao, buongiorno, Ciccio. Sono molto contento.
Got to change that.
Nope.
I want a new opening for Drew where I don't do any fake, phony, fraud Italian because I don't know any Italian.
It's good.
Good morning, Drew. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
How are those beautiful kids of yours? They doing good?
I hadn't seen them in 7 days. They're down with grandma, so I've been bacheloring it. But don't worry, I'm not relaxing and having fun. I signed that contract for the book that we talked about on Trump-Russia collusion. So I've honestly been cranking away because I don't have a lot of time when the kids and wife are around. And I miss them, but I'm just trying to take advantage of the time.
Absolutely.
That's great. That's great, man.
All right. Let's talk about Donald Trump's appearance yesterday in the briefing room, talking about the crime in Washington, D.C. I hate when people give false stats just to bolster their own argument. So Robert Reich, what was he? He was the Commerce Secretary, the Treasury Secretary, a long time ago. He's a midget, I think. He's very, very short. He's very, very short. He said,
not the R word. He's not the R word, just a midget.
No, yes, that's right. Not the R word. So he said, well, crime is down 30% in Washington, D.C. This is just a deflection, blah, blah, blah. But he failed to include the juvenile crime in those numbers. I mean, do they want murder everywhere? Do they want, when people come to the city to say, hey, don't go out at night because you're going to get killed? That must be what they want. I don't understand.
Ken, fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure of something else too. I'm pretty sure that 30% number, the baseline is COVID year, and so it's not he's playing with the numbers.
Yeah.
To try and suggest that it's been solved. I mean, that was such an abnormality in terms of people burning the country to the ground. In protests and just general crime anyway, for him to suggest, it's down 30%, well, people have jobs again, some of them, and so on and so forth. So it's misleading and it's dishonest, but that's what they always do. And their voters are stupid enough to not know that.
Hey, Drew, just so you know, Mayor Bowser actually said that. She said those numbers come from COVID days, and then she kind of tried to move away from that. But she actually said that those numbers it's down from COVID days when they were burning everything down.
I knew I was right. I knew I had that right. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, by the way, Robert Reich with the Secretary of Labor. Thank you, Ken, for that information. So let's move on to another story. The mob attack in Cincinnati, right? It's crazy how this story has been covered. So the people who have been arrested are Gregory Wright, he's 32, Aisha Devon, 26, Dominique Kittle, 37, Jermaine Matthews, 39, Montayanez Merriweather, 34, Patrick Roseman, 38, and Dakira Vernon, 24. Now, what all these people have in common is that they're in between the ages of 26 and 39.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other things. too,
Young.
but, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. This is kind of off topic, but because I have certain clients and I'm pitching them on stuff, and it's like the entire radical movement though, and there are a lot of women's names in there. The whole radical left is comprised mainly, who are the foot soldiers? It's a bunch of chicks, a bunch of left-leaning chicks a lot of times too, and it's really hard to comprehend.
Yep, you're right.
Well, the white liberal women, they've got a role to play right now,
Yep. Yeah, it's just something that I don't know. There are people I can talk to that can explain it to me, but I don't understand why that particular demographic of college-educated white women is, drawn to do that. But anyway.
All right, so here's another story. Judge Boasberg has ordered the release of documents related to Jack Smith classified documents case in Trump's attorney-client privilege fight. Now, all of a sudden, because Jack Smith is under investigation, this judge, who was the same one who went against Trump earlier, now all of a sudden these documents need to be released only because Jack Smith is under investigation.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so filthy the way they conduct themselves, and it's the more I've looked into for the purpose of the book, similar things, right? What they did legally and the tactics they use, they kind of recycle the same things over and over again, and we can see it throughout the Obama administration with covering up things. But yeah, I mean, this is just so typical of what they do, and really, it's all just feints. They're all just distracting you from other things here and there, and it's so frustrating because it is effective, and you never get to the bottom of so many things because you just move on.
Yep.
Look over here.
Exactly right. Look, the shiny thing over here. But what bugs me is, and I've said this a million times, I could be right, I could be wrong. I'm sure the audience is bored of me saying it, but I may be telling you for the first time. These judges, right? Justice is supposed to be blind. So how is it that we know that these guys are liberal or these guys are conservative? You should go up against a judge and have no idea where his political leanings are, right?
Yeah, you're 100% right. But, that's what the left has done. The right, if you talk about the right, I mean, that's where your judges more or less should be, right? I mean, you're talking about a legal matter where you're just basing it off of, it's not an activist approach, it's an originalist approach, right? And you're just doing your job based on the Constitution and the rule of law. So it's the left that have really screwed this whole thing up. But you're right, it shouldn't matter, and you should feel safe, but it's not true. I mean, you go judge shopping, the left obviously, finds left-wing activist judges that are trying to obstruct Trump's agenda. They find, somebody to, put Rudy Giuliani in prison if they can, or this person over here. And they know they're going to get a result that they seek. And, they've done, the left is the most destructive, corrupting force in this country's history. And, they did it under Obama with the Benghazi cover up. They had the CIA, lie, remove all of the information that was the intel that told them that this was an Al-Qaeda related attack, not a spontaneous protest from a YouTube video. But, the Obama administration, and it was Obama himself that had the CIA, Mike Morrell, alter the talking points. They altered the talking points 12 separate times until Obama liked him enough.
Exactly.
To send Susan Rice onto TV, 5 Sunday shows, to repeat the lie. And so this is what they do. So, I mean, it's got to come to an end at some point. But the only way to do it is to keep pressing forward to make sure that there's fewer and fewer Democrats in this country.
Right.
And there's got to be accountability. There's got to be accountability.
There never is on the left. There's never accountability on the left.
No, because they think they're going to get away with it every time, and they've got the media on their side. That's the advantage they have.
Well, and there's not a police, like the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA, the people that are tasked with, enforcing the law, they're going to enforce the law on themselves. There's nobody above them.
All right, Drew Thomas Allen. What's the name of the new book?
I don't know yet.
All right.
Working title.
Ken and I will come up with a perfect title for you, okay?
Yeah, I'll pitch some ideas to y'all next week.
Perfect.
All right, man.
Thanks, man. We'll talk next week.
Talk soon. Bye.
See you, Drew.
Drew Thomas Allen. I hope he's feeling okay.
Yeah, he's probably just
stuff on his
in
mind.
thought, about the book. I mean,
he's usually very fiery.
Right. It sounds like he might be thinking about that book.
Or firing us. I don't know. Lincoln Reagan Day dinner Saturday, September 27th. Here we go. Featuring federal IRS agents who helped bust the Hunter Biden scandal. Joseph Ziegler, you saw him testify before a committee to try to blow the whole doors off of that story. And that is going to be happening again on September the 27th at the River City Casino Hotel Ballroom. So be sure you're there. Okay. All right. We have one more hour to go. Dr. Tobler is next, and we're going to talk to him about SNAP and what you should be able to buy and not buy with SNAP or EBT cards.
Right.
On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Their Provia windows combine old world craftsmanship the professional way, the Provia way, with over 65 years of combined experience, locally owned, offering competitive pricing and personalized service that the big box companies can't match. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
Tony Colombo here for my dentist, Dr. Matt Boscia at New Creation Dental Care, the one-stop shop for all your family's dental needs. And Dr. Boscia is always expanding his services, now including the incredible all-on-4 full arch implant procedure, full mouth restoration that can give you back your smile in as little as 1 day. No more suffering with damaged or missing teeth or poor-fitting dentures. You can see some amazing smile makeovers, learn more about the all-on-4 procedure, and see everything Dr. Boscia can do right now at newcreationdentalcare.com.
Are the days of a personal doctor gone? Not at Body of Health Direct Primary Care. I'm Dr. Randy Tobler to share how our design is putting the care back into healthcare. Plain and simple, our members, not insurance companies, get our exclusive focus. That means same or next day appointments, responsive answers to your concerns, and a no-spin, big tool chest approach. It's about time you get serious time devoted to your medical needs. To learn about healthcare the way it ought to be, schedule a discovery call today at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com.
The Napoli heritage of fine dining continues with Napoli Kirkwood. Napoli Kirkwood, now open. So add that to Cafe Napoli in Clayton, Napoli 2 in Town and Country, Napoli 3 in St. Charles, right next door to Napoli C. And don't forget about Napoli Brothers Pizza and Pasta in the district, Chesterfield Valley. All of those locations, plus now, open Napoli Kirkwood.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. 4 days from the Alaska summit, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has categorically rejected any deal with Moscow that could involve ceding land. That's after President Trump suggested such a concession would be beneficial to both sides, ahead of his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Russia is now occupying about a fifth of Ukraine and appears close to capturing a key city in the Donetsk region, potentially to use as leverage in any peace negotiations. The U.S. trade deadline with China gets another reprieve.
President Trump extended a trade truce with China for another 90 days. The move once again delays a dangerous showdown between the world's two biggest economies. Asked by reporters about the deadline earlier on Monday,
they have tremendous tariffs that they're paying to the United States of America, and we'll see what happens. They've been dealing quite nicely. The relationship is very good with President Xi and myself.
I'm Haya Panjwani.
2 people have died after Monday's explosion and fire at a Pennsylvania steel plant. Correspondent Jennifer King reports.
The county police department says 5 people were hospitalized in critical but stable condition Monday night, and 5 others had been treated and released. Rumbling and explosions at the plant rocked the community and sent black smoke spiraling into the air. The county health department has lifted an air quality advisory. U.S. Steel's Kurt Barshik says there will be a full investigation.
We had an explosion at the 1314 battery, but the extent of the damage is not known because all of our efforts have been focused on recovery.
The plant is still partially operational.
First unit coke batteries are still producing. The rest of the plant is stable.
Audio courtesy WTAE. I'm Jennifer King.
And on Wall Street, all 3 major indexes are ahead about 1%. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
It's a brand new year. Tim Jones to tell you about the brand new things happening at The Hideout, famous for the Sunset Patio, 50 big screen TVs, live music and events, a fantastic game room, and of course, the food. The Hideout has a brand new menu featuring their world famous wings, the best handcrafted burgers, new items like the signature Sunset Dip and Dave's Chili, and a second location at Sugar Creek Golf Course in beautiful High Ridge. Experience The Hideout while enjoying a round of golf. Come in for lunch or dinner. The new 2025 Hideout, hideoutsportsbar.com, hideoutsportsbar.com. We'll definitely see you there.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Hey there, Tim Jones here. When life changes, you need someone you can trust. That's Todd Sivia. At Sivia Law, they're dedicated to helping you through all of life's transitions, specializing in estate planning and elder law. With 7 convenient locations in the area, expert guidance is always close by. Call 833-995-WILL, 833-995-WILL, or visit CiviaLaw.com. Don't forget, first 10 people that tell them Tim Jones sent me get a free $300 strategy session. Sivia Law, helping you protect what matters most.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
For a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right, I know it's not chat box time, but I have to say these two right now. Somebody said, so if this is a 3-hour tour, does that make Vic, are you the skipper and Ken is Gilligan? Because I'm fat? Is that why? Is that why they picked me to be the skipper because I'm fat?
Well, I think you should look at it also as look at Gilligan, kind of a doofus.
So, in your defense, somebody said, no, Vic's the skipper and Ken is the professor.
Ah, thank you.
So that means only
I
because
feel a
I'm
little
fat.
better now.
Only because I'm fat. That's it. All right, let's go.
The Dr. Randy Tobler Update is brought to you by Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles. Learn more about Drs. Omas and Cusimano and their team by visiting advanceddentistrynow.com.
I don't know. We really had that looked at.
Randy Tobler.
You guys are ahead of the curve. You probably took your masks off a couple weeks before the CDC said it was okay.
Now, Dr. Randy Tobler.
What's up, Doc?
You ever wonder what we were talking about with Dr. Tobler to make him say, well, I don't know, you're going to get that looked at.
Yeah. Right during COVID.
Good morning, Dr. Tobler. How are you?
I'm good. You know, every time I hear that, I wonder myself, what in the world were we talking about?
I'm glad it's not just me. That's great. All right. So we had a discussion earlier in the week, and I think actually it was yesterday, but I wanted to include you in on it because, you know, you're the doctor. So the food stamps program started like mid-60s, right? 1964, I think it was. It used to be called food stamps. Now we call it SNAP. And there are some restrictions to what you can buy with your SNAP card, your EBT card. Are you for or against having any restrictions on SNAP purchases?
I'm conflicted on it. If we didn't live in a society where I have some responsibility for the consequences of someone's choices, I would say there shouldn't be restrictions. But since we live in a society where I, as a taxpayer, have responsibility for the obligation to cover the consequences of someone's behavior, I believe I ought to have some say in that behavior. So yes, I'm okay with restrictions. Now, take away the so-called, quote, social safety net that is a real hammock now, and I would have a different feeling about that.
So, with the SNAP,
make sense?
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. And I think the difference between 1964 and now is food is very different now, right? There's way more sugary stuff, you know, soda. I mean, God, I don't even know how they fit all the soda on the shelves. There's so many kinds of soda, many kinds of cereal with a bunch of sugar in it. So there's a perfect example. Breakfast cereal. Should that be on the restriction list?
Depends which breakfast cereal you're talking about.
Well, you know, like Frosted, the good stuff. They're going with the good toy inside. Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, the stuff we all like cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh my God, love it.
I mean, you know, it's a tough call because look, I know very healthy people who, you know, eat generally great stuff, but then once in a while they have a little crappy stuff. Okay, well, should we restrict those people? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe the restriction should somehow be based on what your health is, what your underlying health is. And if there's things that you can control, but you're not controlling it, sort of like we means test Social Security and, you know, benefits and, well, we don't the benefits, but taxes, right? Mm-hmm. The more you make, the more you pay. When the money came out for COVID, the more you made, the less you got deposited in your bank account. So maybe something like that, but that gets awfully complicated. So I would just assume that there wasn't a food stamps program and we let churches decide and community organizations decide. That would be a better plan.
I would think, I could be completely wrong on this, I would think that the restrictions on SNAP purchases was based on childhood obesity, right? Because, I mean, let's face it, you know, a lot of people on SNAP have kids and they want to give their kids the right stuff to eat, maybe don't. No, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think it's got a lot to do with the kids.
It's easy to buy a lot of junk food because it's convenient, it's packaged attractively, it's a lot of calories that fill kids up for a lot less money, and things that are tastier than the healthier things. Just it appeals to our sweet tooths and our fat tooths and our starchy tooths. Not many people are born with a broccoli tooth, so that's the other problem there. You're right. There's just an awful lot of availability of all these things. And unless kids are steered away from it, and this is the conundrum, if parents have it at the table, in the house, in the pantry, kids are going to eat it. And we found as we got better at being parents, just to not have that option around. And guess what? Our girls learned a lot better and are much more committed a lot earlier than our son, our first child, in terms of eating properly. Now, he's gotten on the wagon and he's doing great, but it took him longer because we just didn't quite do it as well the first time. We wanted to make him happy and keep him full. And finally, we were like, nope, this is all that we're going to have in the house. If you don't like salad, well, tough. That's what we're having tonight is a salad with some tuna on it and, drink your water with a little lime squeezed in it. Okay, so that's what they grew up. That's what they grew up with as being normal food.
Yeah, sometimes I think that it would be really cool if I had someone to tell me, no, you can't buy that. You can buy this.
I don't think that's how they look at it.
It seems authoritarian, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it really does.
I think
I
the
just
problem,
need to buy less of that crap once in a while.
I think the problem with kids is, like you said, they're used to it. Like there are restrictions in 12 different states that's going to go into effect very soon. And these are kids that every day have soda with their meal. And in the morning, they have frosted flakes. And all of a sudden, you're going to say, nope, you can't have that anymore. First of all, physically, is there any kind of withdrawal from that?
Should be.
No, I don't think there's any problem there at all.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
Assuming that they're making some kind of a horizontal or a lateral switch in terms of, that they are eating breakfast, right? And look, it's not too big of a shift to go from the super sweet, ultra processed, colorful, whatever, name your cereal, to a bowl of crunchy granola with a little honey on it. Okay, you get a little sweet tooth, that's fine. That's a heck of a lot better because the fiber content is better. You get some other nutrients there, and I think it's just a different taste and texture profile rather than that stuff that is just, it dissolves and turns into this wonderful mash of starch, which is appealing to a lot of people, right? But I think that's still breakfast cereal, and it's still tasty, and it still has a little of that mouthfeel of the starchy stuff, but it's a different kind of a feel. It's a different carb feel. We've got to get kids somehow learning about that earlier in life so that the bad habits, along with the obesity, once obesity is set in and your body has a set point, and it's happening earlier and earlier and earlier, it's very, very difficult to change that set point.
One of the things we talked about yesterday, Ken and I, was that the cashiers now have a list of things that you can or cannot buy with a SNAP EBT card. I would think it should just be in the scanning, right? Oh, nope, sorry, can't do that on SNAP, can't do that on SNAP. But there was an altercation almost.
Yeah.
With tell the story.
Well, yeah, I was watching this video, Dr. Tobler, where this woman was standing there with a big old Reese's bag in her hand, and she's saying, "Wait a minute, you mean I can't get this?" And the lady's like, "It's on the list here. You can't, or it's not on the list here. You can't have that with SNAP." And the lady was really angry. I mean, she even went around the counter to the screen while the lady's checking her out, and the lady's like, "What the heck are you doing?" And she's looking at the list, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I can't get that. I can't get that. Oh, this is crazy." But you know what? On the other side of this, Randy, I mean, we talk about, we're not making excuses, but we are sympathizing with people. But at the other side of this, it's like at some point you got to have responsibility for your own weight. I mean, come on.
Well, you're right. And look, I think in that instance, there is a shame component there, right? If you're called out in the line and, the cashier is like, wagging her finger, no. I mean, I don't know that that's really useful. I'd like to think of it in more of an incentive kind of a way. Like, hey, if your grocery basket is healthier this week than it was last week, we're going to give you an extra $5 for next week. And, we're going to encourage you. And it's only useful at, in the produce department. Okay, well, maybe people will I'd rather have them eat a sweet whole peach than peaches and cream cereal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that
Totally get it.
maybe we incentivize people and we reward them for the proper behavior, because truly, I think a lot of people just have never known the difference. It's like generational poverty and generational crime.
Right.
I just don't think they've ever known the difference, and it's our role to try to encourage that.
And I think that the way it is now, like the EBT card, you swipe or whatever you do with a regular credit card, it's more anonymous too, where people don't have to feel like, oh, I'm on food stamps. It's almost like a negative thing, which it's not. But I think the anonymity helps the people who are on these as well.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that when the scanner scans the forbidden item, I don't want a buzzer to go off. Can't do that. That's just not good.
Yeah, and I get it. And Dr. Tobler, it could also be an incentive for them to get off of the EBT too.
Don't embarrass yourself. Don't buy this stuff.
I mean, I don't know. It's some kind of an incentive.
He brings a good point up.
You do. You bring up a very good point. I was very interested, and I haven't taken a look at what the schools are doing recently, the St. Louis area, but I was really heartened. My daughter just moved to Fort Campbell in Tennessee, and so the kids are in a new school. Man, the menu, she gave us the menu the first week of school, and it was like, wow. She was like, and she eats healthy. She said, I don't know, I could do much better if I packed a lunch.
Wow.
That's great.
I think all we joke about Michelle Obama, I think she did have a positive influence on what our kids get in school. And yeah, they may throw away some of it. They may feel like, oh, I don't want to eat that, whatever. But I think the message still counts. The message matters. That look,
I'll agree to that.
This is what authority figures in your life have ordained as something better for you. So, yeah, we know you don't like it, but that's like planting the seed of faith. It often doesn't grow for a while, but the seed's been planted. So, I'm optimistic.
All right, another topic I want to talk about with you just for a few minutes here. There was a story. I don't know where this story came from, but this kid OD'd, right? And the doctor said he was brain dead, and they started prepping him for harvesting his organs, and he wakes up in the middle of it and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" So I mean, are we getting a little too antsy with harvesting the organs? My God.
Well, it depends if you're the recipient or the
yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah.
That's a great point.
No, I mean, you hear these stories where there's been errant diagnoses like that. And I remember, was it in the Wall Street Journal? Or I remember reading a story where they sort of referenced this thing where there's a trend towards, maybe it's too early a call on that matter and a little aggressive. So we need to be careful about that. And I know that when these decisions are made, they are extremely heavy, solemn decisions that usually are made with a team of doctors talking with the parents and having an initial discussion and then a later discussion. Generally, if there's time at all to try to discuss these things, and it's not perfectly obvious, the cases I've known about, it is agonizing, but an absolutely appropriate way to go about this, and it's very respectfully done.
Yeah, this guy could have been a loner, right? I mean, he could have been just somebody that was, because he was a drug addict and he was probably under a high dose of drugs at the time. Maybe there was no one around him to say, hey, let's talk about this at all.
But his mother did speak out
the mother
about
did.
this.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I get what you're saying, Ken.
Yeah.
But he's kind of the exception to the rule.
Parent.
So now listen, here's how stupid I am, okay? I do not have that I want to donate any organs on my driver's license, because this is where the stupid comes in. I'm under the impression that if I get into an accident and I'm near death and I'm 67 years old and there's some 3-year-old with his life ahead of him who needs a heart, that they'll just let me go and take my heart and send it to the kid.
You might have been talking to Ezekiel Emanuel too much, right? Remember when during Obamacare and as all the new healthcare plan was being formulated, Rahm's brother was like, well, we need to gauge how we ration healthcare based on quality years of life.
Yeah.
Quality years of life.
That's
very interesting.
Death panels.
No, I get you. Yeah, right. I thought the big reason that you didn't want to have that designation in your card is because, I mean, your organs would just cost too much. I mean, they're too valuable.
That's
they're
right.
I mean, That's the problem, right?
My
And
organs
that's
are
supposed
filled
to be
with
a donor.
my organs are filled with garlic, and then everybody wants the garlic.
Well, my gosh, there would be a mad rush to get Vic's organs because those are got to be the healthiest organs in the planet.
You know, I meant to say this when we were talking about Michelle Obama and her whole school lunch thing. If I were in school and they were doing this and they want me to eat broccoli, I'm like, well, is there garlic in it? If there's garlic in it, I'll eat it, you know? Every day. I'd have it every day.
I mean, garlic can make almost anything taste better, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
anything.
Garlic is the universal. It's what a beautiful, and it's so good for you, and it's antimicrobial, antibiotic, antiviral. It's good for your gut bacteria. It's just my wife just sometimes God love her, she's not listening, but sometimes the garlic is in things that it's like, I'd like to taste the thing, not the garlic.
Yeah.
She just loves garlic.
No, I'm with
Knows how
her.
good it is.
My wife is like that. You don't overpower. Yes, we're overpowering. Where's all the garlic? But I think that when my wife is cooking and there's garlic involved, I try to get to her before she puts the garlic in the pan because I like to eat a couple of little bits raw, you know, because that cleans out your system, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, that's a tough one. Wow, holy cow! Woo, man,
That's a lot of garlic.
That's like chemotherapy without the IV.
All right, Dr. Tobler, 6 to 9 every Saturday morning, every morning on the Eagle in Columbia. Thank you so much, sir. We'll talk next week. Oh, no, you're off next week. We'll talk in 2 weeks. All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you, Dr. Tobler.
There's something about garlic, man.
Oh, I
There's
know.
just something about garlic.
You know, I put it in eggs. I love it. With a little salt. It's just
Scrambled, you're talking about?
Yes, it is. My daughters swear by my eggs. They're like, he makes the best eggs in the world. And I'm glad they feel that way because of the garlic.
Funny enough, you've never brought any in.
It's funny, isn't it? How that
Weird.
happens. It's kind of weird how that happened.
Yep. Tomorrow at this time, well, at 11:05, Vic Porcelli, another tribute to a veteran who served this country. By the way, you're listening to the Benny Goodman Orchestra doing Sing, 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 written by Louis Prima.
Yeah.
On 1019 and that's 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Forget about it.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
I really like all the things you're saying.
News, analysis, opinion.
Thank you very, very much.
News Talk STL.
Remember those magical moments in Mom's kitchen? The heavenly aroma of fresh baked cookies? At Trolley Stop Bakery in Chesterfield's Forum Shopping Center, our co-op of talented bakers has been perfecting that homemade magic for 4 decades. From the gooeyest cookies in town to custom pies, cobblers, and cakes, everything's made from scratch, just like Mom and Grandma's recipes. Need that perfect corporate gift? We ship our famous cookies nationwide. The Trolley Stop Bakery, 67 Forum Shopping Center, or TrolleyStopBakery.com. Because some traditions are too sweet not to share.
Hey, firearms enthusiast, looking for a family and veteran-owned shop with a wide selection of products and services? Head to DG Firearms, 115 Business Highway 61 North in Bowling Green. DG Firearms has been your one-stop shop for custom ARs, Cerakoting, laser engraving, gunsmithing, suppressors, ammo, and reloading supplies. DG Firearms, 115 Business Highway 61 North in Bowling Green, and online at dgfirearmsllc.com.
Kathy Connor from Connor Roofing is here. Kathy, how you doing?
Good. Hi, Vic.
You know, when you need a roof, I don't want to call a stranger. I want to call you.
Yeah, thanks. At Connor Roofing, we're more than just a roofing company.
How long have you been doing it?
Since 1993.
And year after year, storm after storm, you guys are always there.
Because this is our home too, Vic. Our kids go to school with your kids. We cheer for the same teams. Go Blues!
So support your neighbors. Call Connor Roofing at 314-375-7475 or CONNER roofing.com.
Thanks, Vic.
All the information I need on the drive to work.
Like Ferguson in the morning. I keep it on throughout the day, whether it's local, national, or something big that's happening overseas.
News, analysis, and opinion.
St. Louis is number one for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
You start out with a little bit of oil. Then you fry some garlic. Then you throw in some
tomatoes, tomato paste. You fry it to make sure it doesn't stick. You got it to a boil. You shove in all your sausage and your meatballs, and a little bit of wine, and a little bit of sugar, and that's my drink.
The Vic Porcelli Show, made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
For every sad story of someone being deported, there's 10 sad stories of Americans that have had their lives turned upside down because of the illegal immigration. And to be demonizing ICE agents is not right. Right now, ICE agents have a 1,000% increase on attacks, yet they're seeing a huge increase in amount of people that want to serve. There's currently 10,000 vacancies, and they have nearly 100,000 applications. I do think there's a balance where we need to go after these convicted criminals, the worst of the worst, and be able to tackle some of that. But we should be encouraging this enforcement of law, not these sanctuary cities that allow the lawlessness to take place.
That is Representative Tony Gonzalez from Texas. ICE has been doing this forever. It's not like this is a new thing.
No.
It's not like taking people who are illegal immigrants and getting them out of the country is something new. It went away during the Biden administration. Not away, but they hardly did anything. What?
No, you know how we've referenced movies. Up in Smoke, they have a segment in the movie that talks about the migra. I think that's what it's called. And it's ICE agents there. And he said, well, yeah, man. He goes, we just get on the bus and then they take us down to Mexico and we have a wedding. It's the wedding. and then we sneak back up, But the point is that they had, ICE agents back then.
Yeah. Where the Millers had a scene like that too.
Yeah.
Where they got an RV full of pot, but they let them go because two guys were trying to cross over the border.
Right.
So anyway, do you know that Superman is now an ICE agent?
He is?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
Dean Cain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's officially an ICE agent. He's sworn in.
That.
Yeah. So he can use his magic powers and stuff.
What they're doing right now, Vic, to recruit people, they've got over 100,000 applications and they only have 10,000 slots to fill. But the reason that they're getting so many is because they're offering a lot of incentives.
Well, it's a tough job too.
It is very.
I mean, the left looks like they're just, mean people who don't do anything. They don't face any danger. The only danger is them, not the illegal immigrants, not the MS-13 members, not the Tren de Aragua members, just the ICE people. They're the dangerous ones.
How could you vote Democrat today? I mean, honest to God, Vic, how can you vote for an organization, a group, a political party that protects Tren de Aragua, protects MS-13, is pissed because Donald Trump is trying to lower the crime rate in Washington, D.C.
Well,
I mean, they're fighting. Hakeem Jeffries is fighting against that.
And they don't take any responsibility for that. They never face any accountability for being for somebody who was a Tren de Aragua or an MS-13 gang member over the people that these guys have killed.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid if that happened to anybody that I knew. And watching Maxine Waters or Hakeem Jeffries, downplay almost cursed right there, downplaying the role of ICE. And Dean Cain said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign up. He was sworn in, and he is now an official ICE agent.
I think it's great. Put your money where your mouth is. And speaking of money, they're talking about Donald Trump is going after that no cash bails.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of it. Okay, when you're not accountable, when you're typical left-wing ideology, they don't want criminals to be accountable.
Right.
For every criminal, Vic, there's a victim.
Of course.
But they don't see it that way. They say for every criminal, they're at a disadvantage. They've grown up as criminals because of X, Y, and Z.
And the proof of that is at Joe Biden's State of the Union address, when it was right after the Lake and Riley murder, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, say her name, and he goes, I'll say her name, and he holds up a button, he goes, Lincoln Riley, or he said something, he didn't say Lake and Riley, he says Lincoln Riley.
I think it was
Lincoln Riley. And so they don't care if they had a conversation in the Oval Office or in some sort of cabinet meeting, and they didn't say, oh, God, this poor girl, Lincoln Riley. Look at what happened to her. She was a nursing student. She was just jogging, and some scumbag just beat her to death. That conversation didn't happen. You know
Never
why?
happened.
Because Laken Riley would have came out of his mouth bing like that, and he
Yeah.
wouldn't have to be forced to say it by a member of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Absolutely correct.
So, just to kind of wrap up this Dean Cain story, do you know the actor John Leguizamo?
Oh yeah, Johnny Legs. I actually interviewed him.
Wait a minute. His nickname is Johnny Legs?
He told me when I actually, and I don't ever talk about this stuff. I'm not a boaster, but I did talk to him, and he was a really good interview. And he goes, "Hey, we're having such a good conversation here. I want you to call me Johnny Legs."
Why?
Because we were just having
a
good time.
Okay.
And he goes, and I said, "Well, I appreciate that." He goes, "Yeah, just call me Johnny Legs."
As long as you call my dog Sally Bones.
That's right.
We got a deal. Was it because he was in some sort of mafia movie?
It was in a movie. No, it's just a movie. It was God, this is back in the late 90s. Was
it the food truck movie?
No, it was the movie. I can't remember. I have to look it up, but it was the one. It was a fantasy movie. It was actually it was just a lot of special effects and stuff like that.
Right.
It was the guy who was a clown too. He was actually a clown, I think, in it. Anyway, I'll look it up later. But that was just that was just something I said.
So anyway,
I have no idea.
John Leguizamo is getting on Dean Cain for doing this. Of course, John Leguizamo is one of those guys who's a movie star and have no idea what it's like to live like a normal person,
right,
near the border, especially where any of these guys coming across the border could be a murderer, rapist, you don't know what.
Doesn't matter.
And then blame the people who are enforcing that.
President Trump. He hates President Trump.
Yeah, guess what? I used to like him. I used to like John Leguizamo.
I told you. I used to too.
He was in a movie, a Romeo and Juliet remake with Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. And it was Romeo and Juliet, but it was set in present day time. So it was really weird how, it's supposed to be in the 1500s or 1400s or whenever Shakespeare was, but it was in today's time. And it was really, really a neat movie. He also was in the food truck movie that I forget the name of the movie, but the guy opens up a food truck and, okay. So it's funny that it fails. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I do remember enjoying the movie, but anyway, now John Leguizamo is not a good guy. He's saying that Dean Cain he's a loser. What kind of loser volunteers to be an ICE officer? Now, if I were to be talking to Johnny Legs like you have, I would say, why aren't you a loser for sticking up for gang members and people who are here illegally? Just because you're Hispanic and most of these guys are Hispanic who come in, that doesn't make your position right and Dean Cain's wrong.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, your point of view is wrong and Dean Cain's is right, because ICE is part of law enforcement. I don't know what the hatred is for law enforcement, but it pisses me off.
It's for the greater good. And it was Spawn, by the way, 1997 Spawn. He was like a clown. He was like
the movie he was in.
The movie, Spawn.
Did you see did you ever see him in Romeo and Juliet that was set in modern times?
No.
Really cool.
Oh, okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't believe that Johnny Legs. I can't believe he's been in so many movies. The guy's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's written some movies, and he's written some stuff, and he was very funny. He still is very funny. But this is one that I can't. I don't love his work so much. On this one, I can't separate the politics from the art.
It's tough. Yeah.
This is one of those examples when I can't. Before I knew that Robert De Niro was a douchebag, I thought he was great. Loved him. God, Robert De Niro. Don Corleone and looking at me, talking to me, and all the other great movies that he was in. And then when he started talking bad about President Trump, I have watched Godfather 2 since he's done that,
Yeah.
because he's really great in it, and other movies that he was really great in.
Oh, Goodfellas. I mean,
God.
One of my favorite movies.
Not for nothing, but A Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
With Chaz Palminteri, where he's not the mafia guy.
Yeah, right.
He's the guy who has the kid who doesn't want his kid involved with the mafia because he doesn't like him. Really strange kind of, juxtaposition of his things that he's acted in.
And I agree with you about John Leguizamo. You can't separate the two on this one because it's just common sense. It's about law and order. You can't do that, dude.
And I don't know who he's trying to appeal to here.
Look at the amount of movies he's been in, Vic. He's one of the swamp in LA. He's one of the creatures of LA.
So what are you saying?
That's why he can't separate the two. John Leguizamo can't separate it and gives Dean Cain crap about this because, well, basically all the other creatures in LA feel that same way. So why would he separate himself from that?
Not that I ever want this to happen, Ken, but I would love to hear an interview with John Leguizamo. If this happened, this didn't happen. I don't want it to happen. But if his daughter was kidnapped, raped, and murdered by an illegal gang member in this country, how would he feel?
It would be horrible.
What would he say then about Dean Cain? And you'd think there'd be some sort of Hollywood camaraderie with each other. Good for Dean.
And it shouldn't come to that. See, that's the whole thing, is that it's such common sense that it shouldn't be thought that way. It should be like, okay, we know this. We know you have to empathize with other people. You have to be able to sympathize with other parents that have kids. I look at an issue like this and I say, yeah, but look at the people it could potentially harm. That's what I look at. I don't look at it like, say, John Leguizamo does, because he can't be looking at it that way.
Right.
Because if he was, he'd be saying, well, you know what? I don't like the guy, but they're right. They're right. It shouldn't be this way.
And when we were kids, Ken, everybody wanted to be a cowboy or a police officer or, fireman, something like that. And now all of a sudden he's a loser because you're Hispanic. Is that why? It's just so phony. So fake.
Yeah.
Coming up next, Chatboxorama. A lot of stuff. On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen.
Schroer International under pressure.
Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen.
Oh, he doesn't involve our institution. He knows so long as
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
On the next,
Larry Connors, USA.
President Trump and Putin prepare for their meeting in Alaska, but a lot can happen before.
Larry Connors, USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Dude, this house is perfect. Crumbs everywhere, sticky counters. I've already texted the colony.
Sweet, I'll bring my 500 cousins. This will be the biggest ant rager of the summer.
Let's party! Wait, what's that sound? Oh, no, it's those trucks with the green wheels. Party's over, man. Party's over.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888 to learn more about our special $67 offer.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, did you just have your house painted? Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, no, it's actually Rhino Shield.
877-25rhino.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Mackey. You may know me from Gutfeld as the hot one and the funny one. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL 101.9 and 94.1 or 94.1 and 101.9. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's just trying to do a good job. That's all. He's just trying to get it right.
Right.
Joe Mackey from the Greg Gutfeld Show. Hey, okay, just very quickly, Kenny.
Yeah.
And you actually caught this. We keep Newsmax on here in the studio in case anything breaks. And we look up, and Rob Bluey's on there.
Yeah.
You know? So here's my plan. I want us to ask him on Monday. When he does one of these on CNN or Newsmax or whatever, to get him to work the word whoosh into the conversation.
Oh, that would be funny.
You know? Like if you have these ICE agents are working well, then whoosh, all these
right.
all these immigrants will be gone. Something like that.
Whoosh.
You know?
Yeah.
Would that be great? Would you die if he said
It was
whoosh?
so funny. We would record it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And whoosh, they were gone.
Right. I had it and then whoosh, it was gone. Oh my God. We have to do that. So stupid, but we'll do it. Okay. Good morning, freedom fighting Vicheads. Allison's number one.
Hey, Allison.
Good morning, all patriot freedom fighting Vicheads. Whoosh, my brothers and sisters. Thank you, Duke. Ed says I'm third. Woohoo. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
President taking back the streets of D.C. and more to come. Trump.
Yeah.
You got to fit the Grover Cleveland thing in there too.
Yeah.
I'm heading to Memphis to work. I wish I would have some time to see Graceland. Yeah, we had that conversation last week. Graceland is great. Beautiful.
If you're down there, if you get a chance, if you ever have a chance to do it, you should.
And Sun Records.
And Sun, yeah.
Good morning, all you beautiful, mega, ultra patriotic, deplorable, Garbagian, degenerate, freedom fighting, God fearing, Vic head weirdos.
Good morning, St. Louis.
Angelo Dundee. I went back and listened to that with Dave Stouffer.
Yeah.
When I said we should send your manager was Angelo Dundee. And it was fine. Hi Vic, hi Ken. Not kidding, for real. Vic, Ken. DC recently suspended a police official for doctoring the crime stats. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Bow Wow Bowser is a liar. Bowser.
Mayor Bowser.
I cannot think of Bowser without thinking of Bowser.
What a name. Yeah, the name fits his voice.
No. His name is Bauman. His real name is Bauman.
I don't care.
I'm just saying. Hey, if we're on a 3-hour tour, then is Vic the skipper and Vic and Gilligan is Ken? What? Why? Because I'm. No. Look. Ken Williams asked Nick now that the EPA had admitted to geoengineering who was paying for the weather modification we see in Missouri. There's not.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
I know. There's a company called Rainmaker. What do you think they do? What do you think the product is of Rainmaker Incorporated?
Rainmaker.
I wondered. No, Duke disagrees. Vic's definitely the skipper because he's fat. I don't say that. But it says that Vic is the skipper and Ken's the professor.
Oh,
so either way, I'm fat. I'm fourth.
Because he's a mensch.
I'm fourth. May I be with you. May the fourth. He's the fourth. May he be with you. Do you get it?
Yeah.
You don't get it. Weed kills. I know. I was forced to watch Reefer Madness in high school. Did you ever watch Reefer Madness?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was actually a programmed type of movie that we were required to watch in health. It was so funny because it scared the crap out of me. I'm like watching this guy smoke a joint, and all of a sudden his eyes start getting all crazy.
Dance faster.
Yes.
Dance faster.
I'm like, I'm not taking that crap ever again.
Yeah, I did.
Ever.
Anyway. I didn't listen to it. I did anyway. And now look. Oh, no. That's something else. Hair on the hands. That's something else.
Now, you know what else? I just remembered because you brought this up.
Yeah.
When they were doing that class on marijuana, they also had what smelled like marijuana.
Yeah.
They had oregano or something. They had something, I don't know what it was, but it smelled what they called like marijuana.
My friend Grant just sent me a cartoon 2 days ago. 2 ladies walking down the street, and then there's a fence there. And then the one lady says, it's either a skunk or somebody smoking pot. And on the other side of the fence, there's a skunk smoking pot. So it was both.
It was both. That's great. Because I think the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're driving, And I talked about it yesterday. It happens every day. And it's every once in a while it smells like, man, this is either a skunk or it's skunk weed.
Right.
One of the two.
Or it's skunk smoking skunk.
Or that could be two, yeah.
How do
I
you
never
know,
thought of that, but
how do you know about the term skunk weed? Mister, I never smoked any pot.
I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea.
I have a picture of a stoner.
I was in a band for 6 years.
I have no excuse. I have a picture of a stoner I worked with once. He'd go home and get high at lunch, then come back to work zoned out.
I wonder if I ever knew anybody who smoked every single day of their life while they were working.
But was that person zoned out, or was that person
I don't think
good
so.
at what he did?
I think that person, how did you know it was a guy or girl?
Uh-oh. Okay, University's Unbiased. The picture shows them looking into an engine bay with the drop light facing him. He was staring at a 100-watt incandescent bulb. I have no idea what this is about. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's pretty cool, though.
Ken, I don't know. The picture shows him looking into an engine bay.
Yeah.
With the drop light facing him. He was staring at a 100-watt incandescent bulb.
Smoking skunk weed.
I'm so sick of following a car and I smell it in my truck. It stinks.
It does.
I'm so sick of the weed smell.
I've actually come into here thinking to myself, because I have my windows open, I don't have air conditioning in my truck, and I think to myself, I must smell like this crap because it was so thick.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
One of my employees actually said, weed is not a drug because it is legal. I'm sorry. He said, weed is not a drug, man, because it's legal, okay?
No, he's a dreamer.
Tylenol is a drug, and that's legal.
Right.
That conversation ends right there.
Well, alcohol's not, it's legal, but you can't drink it while you're driving it.
Or work.
Or work, yeah.
I usually went ballistic if anyone was zonked at work. Too many people turned into Spicoli from Fast Times movie.
Getting out of the van.
Mr. Hand.
Hey, Mr. Hand.
Learning about Cuba, having some food. You should have asked him if coffee was a drug or alcohol. Well, we did about the alcohol. And if coffee is a drug, then I'm a drug addict.
Yeah, you are a big caffeine drug addict.
I've seen no stats backing up or refuting that, but intoxicated driving is intoxicated driving. You should never do that. I told them that aspirin, alcohol, and caffeine are considered a drug. Abusing any of it would kill you and possibly others. And then he said, wow, man. No, he didn't say that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even if I had friends doing it, I'd be like, get the hell out of the car. You should never get in a car drunk. Buzzed. Never, ever. It really is bad. You could take the lives of a whole family. Forget your life for a minute. Just forget it. Because yours is over. But what about losing the lives of these people, of kids?
They don't care. You think they care?
I don't know. No, obviously not.
You think they care? They don't care.
No, if they drive like that, no.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
You can't worry about what other people think. I mean, have you met other people?
As an employer, I wouldn't tolerate stoned or drunken employees. One chance, no second chance.
That's good.
A lot
I like that.
A lot of stuff is illegal until the politicians decide how to make money on it, and often at the expense of ruining people through more addiction, ruined families, etc. But it's okay now. So these sanctuary crazy left-wing cities have shoot up places where safe shoot up places.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Here's my problem with what you just said, though. People need to make their own decisions at some point, and if you're going to demonize marijuana that much, and I don't smoke, I'm not a smoker, but if you're demonizing pot, you better be demonizing alcohol, because I've lost family members to alcohol, and that to me is the dividing line. I mean, if you're gonna support letting people drink socially, then you better be able to support them to smoke socially, or neither.
And you shouldn't drive stoned.
Never.
But people who do drive high drive a lot slower than people who are under the alcohol. You're right. I deal with employees all the time. I can't find any good construction workers. I will not hire illegals. And forget illegals who smoke pot.
Oh.
Yep. Edstoit. The politicians want that money and exploit people's addictions. Those bastards.
A little bit.
So Duke is endorsing our Ed story.
Oh, good.
Everything Democrats say, the opposite is true.
Anything they say, I know is complete opposite.
It was always hard finding good mechanics that enjoyed working. Vic, I have a 48-star flag. That was my paternal grandma's real cloth flag. There were only 48 states when I was born. I'm with you. I'm in the 48-state club.
I love that.
What year were you born?
60.
Nope, you're in the 50-state club. We got a 48-star club, 48-state
Why are
club.
you special?
Got it. Joey Biden was born when there were stars were arranged in circles.
In a circle.
My wife would starve there. She's probably worse than Chris as regards diet. Who's Chris? Chris Arps. Oh, because Chris was talking about the cuisine in Israel. Everything's kosher, so you can't get a cheeseburger because they can't put cheese and meat together.
I thought cheese and meat were created together.
They come from the same animal.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I can imagine a mix of emotion Chris and Tim are feeling walking in the steps of Jesus and walking the steps of savage terrorists. So this afternoon, I am sure that Tim Jones will play you the audio from the video that he made. Is on Facebook right now on our Facebook page, where he couldn't get through what he was talking about. He was right at that festival place.
Yeah.
Where those kids got killed. Beef veal heart is excellent if prepared right. Do not allow Newsmax to steal Tim and Chris from News Talk STL. How many Democrats are at this very moment defending Hamas? Anti-Maxine said the president is leading us to a civil war. She better watch what she wishes for, just like the movie Tombstone. We're coming and hell's coming with us. Cutesy time is over. That's what it says right here.
Yeah, we can have a whole other conversation, a whole segment about what you just said with regard to representatives of the United States and American people basically being Hamas.
Listen, the Civil War will not be white against black. It will be liberal versus conservative. Just saying.
Or if you want to go farther down the road, Islam against Christianity. They're very incompatible together.
The number of Muslim immigrants in Italy is eye-opening. Jimmy, did you know that Sarah Silverman had a podcast?
No.
Okay, that's how popular it is. Nobody knows about it. And Kimmel was on, and Jimmy Kimmel was on with it, and he said that he has citizenship in Italy. So good, leave.
Okay, so go. Why do you have to announce? Okay, why do they have to announce? Every one of them. These celebrities, they love to go, well, guess what, everyone? I'm announcing today that I am leaving the United States. Who cares?
Like in the morning,
bye.
We go, what did I do with that Jimmy Kimmel? Did anybody see my Jimmy Kimmel?
It's gone.
It's gone.
They ran away.
What?
You know why they're leaving, Vic, in my opinion? You know the Epstein files aren't released yet. Okay, just take that with you. They're gone. They're leaving the country now.
We have to have some sort of extradition agreements with Italy, don't we?
I don't know.
I did it with Lucky Luciano.
Do they have them where what's his name went to Brazil with the gerbils?
I'm going to stop right there. Solar and wind power are not reliable, not environmentally friendly, expensive, and makes the Chinese and politicians rich. There's no science behind the green scam. I agree. Nuclear and coal are the way to go.
Yep.
Nuclear energy. Yeah.
I'm really excited about the idea of having nuclear, like they call them micro nuclear facilities for individual buildings. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Ameren will never allow nuclear energy. We have coal power plants that need to be restarted. We already have Callaway.
Yeah. And Ameren has control of that, I think.
Do they really?
I think so, yeah.
Jeez. They need to cut the red tape and get some regulations at coal plants. We need more than Callaway. We have plenty of coal, and we have the technology to use it cleanly. Let's get these plants going again. Yes to both, says Don, I think. If Elon is upset about losing his subsidies, I have an idea for him. Design a vehicle of yours with a hybrid combustion engine.
There you go.
Now, I got a question about that.
He uses combustion engines for his rockets.
Let me ask you a question. If you have a hybrid, when you are driving on gas, Does that charge the battery?
Yeah, it does. I think part of it is like they even have cars that like when you hit your brakes, it actually charges the battery some way.
Because if not, I would be like, it's 2025. It needs to be.
No, that's the way that works. That's the way hybrids usually work.
Vic and Ken. Vic can shift the manual transmission. Ken can shift the production board.
There you go.
There you go. Diesel was cheaper in Italy than regular unleaded gas. Diesel used to be cheaper here. Diesel is cheaper to process as well.
Now that's a good point, because it did used to be. Diesel is almost like a byproduct of gasoline.
Yeah.
And then yet now it's more expensive.
Well, somebody snuck liver into the conversation, and some people don't like it. I like Braunschweiger. Do you like Braunschweiger?
I used to as a kid, but no, not now. I love liver because I used to work at the tray service at Mizzou when I was doing work study.
Yeah.
And I was in the central tray service, and sometimes no one ate the food. And so we would take liver home to the fraternity house. Oh, man, we loved it.
No.
It was great.
My mother had to eat liver because she was anemic, and I was liver and onions. It was just the worst.
Oh,
the onions,
liver and onions, man, it was great.
Okay, I want to go to Facebook here because we haven't talked about them at all. Here, Scooter. Scooter says Benny Johnson sounds like a racist.
Of course, because he's a lib.
Because Benny Johnson listens to the show, I guess. Because we've been saying that about Jasmine
Scooter's
Crockett.
a racist.
Scooter, you're the racist, not us. I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, no.
Marijuana should be and stay illegal. You just got to be careful with it. Stay safe, Chris and Tim. Our prayers are with you. Does that mean we are no longer counting Mexico and Cuba as our extra states now that we're safely the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico? Good morning, freedom fighters. All started with Obama and the beer summit. Should have told Obama, right? The police are acting stupidly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody. It's Ken's fault.
Yep. But thank you, though. Thanks for giving us the information.
Yeah.
Being a part of it.
All right. It's time to go, right?
Yeah.
Why don't I hear time to go music?
Well, because it's not quite time to go.
Where's
now
time
it
to go
is,
music?
though.
There it is. Okay. This song is great. It's called The Time to Go music.
The Time to Go.
Thank you for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Jamie Allman, 3 martini lunch. Don't worry if you can't gauge how many martinis should I be through.
He'll help you.
He'll help you and let you know exactly how many martinis you should be through for that point of the show. And that show is next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train. Yes, consider traveling around the United States on Amtrak. Train is a lot less of a headache than taking a plane, and you'd be surprised how many places you can go on an Amtrak. And there's no passports or IDs needed. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States.